bitches.
Hello, motherfucker.
What the heck is going on over here? Guys, I clicked to go live like 3 minutes ago, and then I was wandering around my house like a lost fart, like a fart in a jacuzzi. And I come back and there's just a billion messages. Hello. Mau Mau was first, although technically Jargon was first. Good afternoon, Jargon. Good evening, Mau Mau. Good evening, Lily. Good evening, Senjin. Good afternoon, Peace Squiddies. How is everybody? Mao is first. I mean, yeah. I just realized now I haven't opened my game. Whoops. Couldn't be me. Mao is first. Yeah, he did redeem the thing first. Guys, my jaw is so sore. I wanna die. I don't really, but it's very uncomfortable. Also, I want to post something on the Discord because it's very cute and Ash made it for me. Oh wait, I can switch scenes. Give me my mouse, you bastard. Where's my shit? Oh, my shit is broken once more. Just a moment. I don't know why it does this. It's like whenever I move the window, it changes the... I probably just need to reinstall this thing again. I hope that fixes it. Anyway, oh right, post picture on Discord. You good, Peace Squiddies? I'm doing okay. Whoa! The aggression. I can also turn off the music after I've posted this picture. You were aggressive with Yoda? Wait, what? Can you focus on the thing that's like right in front of you, not the thing behind you, you asshole? There we go. I tried. I just want one good picture where you guys can see this thing clearly. Is that too much to ask? Apparently. Oh my god. Anyway. looks so weird. So we went to Ray's mum's place this evening because it was her birthday, so we had dinner with them. P-Squiddies, are you doing pluggies? Are you plugging Yoda in my chat? Unbelievable. Someone ban P-Squiddies immediately. Where's Dan when you need him? I need the pluggy police. Okay, I don't know what point it saved that.
Wood shop is closed.
Okay,
no
yeah.
Stools. Come back late.
Whoa. Never seen an outfit like that before. Where'd you get it?
This is where we finished earlier today.
On my spaceship.
Yeah, right.
Clean up your
Hey,
act,
I get it.
P-Squiddies.
You don't want to reveal
Hi,
your source.
Spawn.
Have everybody biting your style next week.
Biting my...
It's cool. I got my own thing, so...
Hi, my name's Shay.
Curtis.
I'm doing okay, Spawn. How are you?
What are you making there?
Art. Forged from metal.
Wow.
I used to work with wood, but, you know, it was getting all trendy, and the tree started talking, and there was no money in it, so I got into metal.
How long have you been into metal?
Oh, I've been into metal for like ever, but my kit just arrived today, so I've been like hardcore about 6 hours.
This guy's so weird.
What are you forging?
Well, in fact, you are the lucky one to see my very first collectible die-cast miniature.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa! Y'all going hamzos with the onigiris there.
that's so cute.
Cute? Well, the catalog said it was supposed to be a wizard, but it looks more like a kitten reading a book.
That's definitely a kitten
Dang.
reading a book.
Did I order the wrong mold?
Do you order your molds from a catalog?
Hey, I'm just starting out, okay? It's like I'm in the cover band phase. I want to do my own material, like, eventually.
What are we watching? So this game is called Broken Age.
Do you have any other molds?
It's
I could only afford
very
this.
weird.
The idea was to sell a bunch of wizards to buy more molds, but with this stupid cat, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get a new mold.
Think you could make me a radiation suit?
Nah, I don't do soft goods. If you're looking for a good seamstress, though, I'd check out Mariloft. They do amazing stuff with feathers. You know, if you're into that kind of thing.
Where does that big ladder go on your roof?
There's a ladder on my roof?
More like through your roof.
Not sure. But I've got a hunch that Vela had something to do with it.
Is Vela a friend of yours?
Well, she used to come around here a lot. Had a thing for my stools.
Well, have fun with the metal.
Later, Shader.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Is this boarded up for fire safety or something?
Yeah, safety. Never know when an inspector's
GG's
gonna show up.
Hassan.
Your paintings are all ripped up.
Yeah, that was a different me who did that. I'm much more calm now that I'm working with metal.
Hi, Epsilon. Okay, well, let's go up. How's
There's
the
a piece
wholesome
missing from
Tato
this
doing
window.
today?
Oh, yeah. I lost the sun somehow.
Yeah, me too.
Aw. That's kind of sad. I don't know, you should probably go ask the wholesome Tato. Hassan.
Phew.
Oh my
that
god.
was a ladder. Whoa. Check out these crazy clouds.
Okay, for there, you're doing great. You built a new ladder.
Which
you got
Tato
it
is
attached,
this?
Just like I asked. Now all you have to do is climb up here and rescue me.
Tired of your shit, Tato. No, I'm
Can you
joking.
not climb down yourself?
I've told you a million times, Feather. I've been up here too long. My feet are weak. They're like little teacups. I dare not use them. Now,
Fuck.
please, Feather, stop wasting time.
JK, not JK.
I can't, Brother Lightbeard.
Sorry, not sorry.
You know,
No, don't cry. Whatever
Oh,
you
he's
do.
tired Tater today.
can't.
Ah, brother.
What's going on here?
Mind if I try your ladder?
You will help me rescue Brother Lightbeard?
I'll see what I can do.
The way they talk
very
reminds me of
light you.
Minecraft Story Mode.
Thank you.
I've never played that.
See? Nothing to be afraid of. Wait a second. What's happening?
Darn it. He looked so light.
Help?
A little farther, Feather.
It's not me.
Heart of gold, but he never takes anything 100%, you know?
What the fuck?
How does that big cloud stay afloat?
Just like all the other clouds. There's nothing special about my cloud.
Oh my god. I hear it now.
Why don't you just climb down?
My legs have atrophied from lack of use.
Wow. How long have you been up there?
Just since this morning. By atrophied, I just mean really, really stiff.
Why don't you just stay up there?
I need to get back to my cloud house before tea time. If the watercress sandwiches stay out too long, the bread gets a tough outer layer. Almost like a new crust, you know? And then Chef has to make new ones. It's just really not fair to him.
I'm trying to get up there, but I can't reach.
Don't you have something you could stand on?
Hi, Hitman! Heavy duty anti-gravity thrust
Any
unit?
idea where I can find a heavy-duty anti-gravity thrust unit?
Hey, whoa, what are you implying? I'm naturally buoyant.
I just meant you seem to know a lot about lift.
Please, my lightness comes from within.
Okay, see you later.
God, I hate this guy. Even though he is Jack Black.
How does that big cloud stay afloat?
Just like all the other clouds. There's nothing special about my cloud.
Are you sure? I'm not sure. I think we need to get further to move.
Okay, see you later.
I'm doing alright, Hitman. How are you?
How does that big cloud
Wait,
stay
I want to get
afloat?
off of this thing.
Just like all the other clouds.
Release me.
Okay. Psst. Feather.
Father.
Hello?
Can you rescue Harmony now?
I still can't
Harm
reach
me.
him. And he's too noble
Hi,
to jump.
Katara. How are you?
Can you untie that bow on Harmony's cloud?
Why would I do that?
Harmony. I can't stand this. The naming here.
So we can use it to make a rescue harness for him.
Great idea. So, how do I untie it?
Can you tell me what kind of knot it is?
Yeah, the big old nasty looking kind.
Thanks. I'm sure it looks harder than it is. Let's give it a shot.
I'll try.
Work it apart with your fingers.
You mean something like... Uh-oh. That
Oh.
made it worse.
What does it look like now?
Well,
What the
like
fuck?
a whole new, terrible knot.
What is this guy doing? Oh my god.
Psst. Feather.
Bruh.
Go get help.
I can't leave Brother Lightbeard.
Feather, could you try?
Wait.
Let's give that knot another try, okay?
Okay.
Try wiggling it.
Try wiggling it.
Yep. Ooh, I think I messed it up.
What does it look like now?
Well, like a whole new, terrible knot.
What the fuck? What is this full ass man doing?
Let's give that knot a... Try to find a loose section.
Right.
Oh, this is called Broken Age.
Uh-oh.
Oh
That
no.
made it worse.
What does it look like now?
Well, like a whole new, terrible knot.
This oak. Please stop. So it's Broken Age. It's a point-and-click adventure game.
What are you waiting for?
That guy at the top is voiced by Jack Black, which is great. But yeah, it's
You gonna figure out how to get me down?
it's weird. It's very interesting. So I started off the story
So you gonna save me or what?
in the past, and you start as a young girl who's being sacrificed to like some god or something.
What are you waiting for?
And you help her to like fight against it basically, and then now I'm this boy character, and
Hey, I'm still up
he
here.
shush you.
Over there.
He
Hello?
he's trying to get back to his home planet because he's not from here. I don't know. It's very strange. The stories are tied together as well. It's crazy, man. You like my avatar? Thank you, Cats. It's one of 3? 4? How many do I have now? I think I have 4 different ones. I just cycle through them. Whatever one I'm in the mood for that day.
You stay here. I'll try to find a way to help your friend.
Hi, Hooded. How are you? Yeah, it's 4 because it's Shady Tato, Sketchy Tato, PNG Tato, and 3D Tato.
Hey, I'm still up here.
There's a lot. I just want to know, is there a way for me to... Oh! Okay, there was a way for me to get off. Cool. Can I go past this guy? You wear your sunglasses at night? Yes. Because people say I have a dead look in my eyes when I don't wear them, so I was like, okay, fine. Look at the baby!
Looks like it's hatching season.
Oh! Those were all eggies the last time I was here.
Trying to take care of my family.
Your family, Walter? Or yourself?
You like G-Tato? Which one's G-Tato? It's because the sun never sets on a badass? Oh yeah, that's fair actually. Let's go see what this... Oh, the PNG, okay. What is happening here? Who's this guy? I never saw him before.
My name's Shay. I'm from... out of town.
Me
Because
too.
it reminds you of
I'm
Yoda.
from
Oh
Sugarland.
yeah, the
My name's
PNG one
Tristan.
was made by Yoda.
This here is Walter.
Walter.
Sticking to that, are you?
Yeah, it's because he made it for me.
Did you say your name was Walter or Walt? My name was lightened to Walter by Harmony Lightbeard.
It's not a cult thing.
It is a cult thing. No, wait. It's not a cult thing. Quit confusing me.
These guys.
Oh, you mean that weird guy on that fake cloud over there? There's nothing.
Hey!
Got
Harmony Lightbeard.
Cat,
Or his
what the heck,
plot.
man?
It has
Thank
stitching
you.
Holding it together in a big bow at the bottom.
Shit.
Didn't you notice? It's
Went to
pretty
Pocahontas, the Brutus, damn it! Kit, Kai, G, Frag Moda, and Creative Cheer. Thank you for the 5 gifted subbies. Yeah, Pocahontas got 1. And Kai, Kego. Kego Ego got 1 as well. Thank you. I don't know, I don't think any of those people are in chat, but appreciate it. Yeah, look, Jargon, I don't think I've ever read his name like that. I call him Kego, which is not at all what his name is. You know, but I don't know a single person that calls him Kit Kaiji, and I was just trying to read out his name. Everyone just calls him Kai. But like, I call him Kego. Because, why not, you know? So it was very difficult to read out that name.
Have you guys seen a giant monster flying by here?
The top G.
Some people call him Mog Chothra.
The ass of everyone's
My
blame.
daughter Vela fought him off.
If anything goes wrong, just blame
She was
Kai.
so brave. She taught us all a lesson that day.
Your town wouldn't happen to be named Danger System 5, would it?
Danger System 5.
I think I mentioned I'm from Sugar Bunting.
What kind of name is Danger System 5?
Sounds like something from a kids' action program.
Huh. Yeah, something to entertain little kids, maybe.
Oh my god, 6 hours, like straight? You blame Kai? Same, I also blame Kai for
What's
you
this
playing that
little
much
hut for?
Genshin. It has
It's
to
my
be his
wife's
fault.
cloud shoe business.
No one else plays that
She was
game.
working hard to make money, while I just worked on giving it away. She's run off now, and I have no idea where.
I don't blame her. Holy fuck. Okay, so he was married to her. I don't blame her for leaving. God. This guy is so fucking weird.
Well, see you guys later.
I'm not
care.
telling him that I saw his wife. I don't want him to know where she is. That poor woman. She's already gotten away. I'm not outing her. I'm not throwing her to this Loco Coco man.
Looks like someone tied this ladder down. There's a note. Guys, quit moving my ladder.
You played for 12
Avoid
hours
choosing
yesterday?
me off. Silent
Sheesh.
Gus.
Are you enjoying it, Hassan? Oh, I didn't read that.
You better not move it. I don't want to cheese off Gus.
Gus? Alright. What's Jessie doing? Besides snoring. Hi Luna! How are
That egg
you?
looks like it's having a little trouble hatching.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I should... Uh-oh. Ow.
Oops. Oh, I saw your dragon spine is quite leveled. Very nicely. Well, leveled, completed, explored. I can't word. I cannot word. I'm incapable of wording right now.
Take us down. We are in our prime. Eat our sweet rewards.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
wait. I'm not comfortable with that. Yeah, that's a little. Eat our sacred. How about we just skip that line? Okay.
Still alive? That's good.
We'll
Have you
return
eaten today,
in
Luna?
time. Let our child rise.
I'm doing okay. I'm just... my jaw is killing me.
Up from a hidden
I did take a muscle relaxant, so
long
hopefully
after
that
we
helps.
are dead. Wait,
You guys all
are we
playing on
speaking
other
as us
servers?
worshipping the
What do you
fruit?
mean, Hadid?
I thought we were the fruit.
Everyone's
worshipping
playing on
the
other
tree.
servers because we live in other
Maybe
countries.
we're the child or the rotten beds. You know what part of this story I really feel like, Dawn? What, Courtney? The pits. Oh, Courtney, me too. Come on. Fake it till you make it, girlfriend. That's what we've always said.
Hey, are you those guards who stole Alex's radiation-proof curtains?
Without admitting any wrongdoing.
Thank you for the
What's
head
it
pat.
to ya?
Are you guys looking for a tree to talk to? Because I saw one down in the forest that might actually talk back.
Oh, no thanks. We know that weirdo. We're here because this is the tree with the fruit. The fruit, that is.
The answer.
That was really convincing, Courtney. Thanks. I did the pause just like you said.
You don't feel like eating anything right now? That's fair. I had a super tasty rye tonight. That was very nice. I ate a lot of sweet corn. Oh, it was so good, man. I basically had 2 cobs of corn tonight. I just realized now. Because Ray's mum is a feeder. We've all decided that she's a feeder. And whenever she makes corn, she doesn't cook a lot, but like most of the family doesn't eat it. I fucking would kill a man for a cob of corn, you know? So yeah, so she she made some, but like there was still a lot left, and she's like, after like a while after dinner, she was like, "Hey, we still have some corn. Do you want some more?" So I just stood in the kitchen munching corn like an animal. Your UID is not visible. You're not going to be visible in a second, mister. Anyway. Yeah, it's good to spend time with the family. Corn is so good. Haven't had corn on the cob in a hot minute. Oh man. This is a sign. Time for corn. You're just gonna have corn for dinner. Just have a big old bowl of corn. Alternatively, several cobs of corn. Easy. You had corn for lunch today? Hell yeah, I fucking love corn, man. One of my favorite things is like in when it's hot, so like in summer or you know whenever. But when it's hot, if you have frozen corn and frozen peas, so good, man. Ivy says hi, Ivy. Did Ivy get some rest, some sleepies? Roasted corn? Ooh. Man, corn on the brie, that's also some good shit. That's some good. You love corn like that kid? Same. Ray kept playing me the song because he knows how much I like corn. It has the juice, exactly. I love corn, man. Okay, anyway, continuing the story. Not since she's been here. I hope she does get some sleepies, because yeah, she was up the butt crack of dawn. Needs to get some shut-eye, I think.
If you give me back those robes, I promise Alex won't press charges.
First of all, we didn't steal anything. Secondly, we're naked under here, so no way you're getting our robes. If you want them, you're gonna have to fight us for them.
Whoa!
I'll fight you for those robes, no problem. I need them to help my mom.
Oh, that's so sweet. He wants to help his mother. And he's willing to beat us up with a stick to do it.
No, I'm not going to beat anybody up, but I will easily disarm the both of you. I've completed several fencing missions with my yarn pals, so if you have another stick handy.
We don't have any fencing sticks handy, Mr. Fancy. But if you find one, feel free to come back and try to take our robes from us.
Okay.
I'm going to get a stick, and then we're going
Oh,
to fight
she
for
just
those
got there?
robes.
Fair enough.
Why don't you go get some yarn instead? Yeah, we'd love to meet one of your friends.
Also, I like how Hooded was like, I like that everyone... Or he's everyone up to date on the memes. Meanwhile, the corn kid is a very old meme.
What are you guys doing up here?
We are the former dead-eyed druids.
I don't know if you're up to
Misled
date
and
on the memes
betrayed
there,
by a
Hooded.
false prophet, we have
Internet
come to seek
Explorer.
wisdom from the tree of answers.
Why do you think this tree has answers?
Okay, honestly, it wasn't our first choice. We really came up here because we heard about this guru of lightness that a lot of people were following. But apparently he's out of commission, so we remembered this fruit. And since it was the answer to the riddle of Yorn, maybe it's the answer to
I realized it, but I was like,
everything.
fuck, I'm gonna send it anyway. Whoa! You gonna go sleepies? Sweet dreams, Luna. Take care of yourself. Wah! Thank you for the head pats. Hi, Dan. Thank you for the onigiris. Why you cover my UID, Dan? Why you like this? How are you feeling, by the way?
Just because the fruit was the answer to one riddle.
Too many questions. This is a matter of faith. Also, We really need this to work because we've run out of stuff to believe in. Yeah, we're kind of at the end of our ropes.
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's what the Deadeye God said.
Oof. You have to discuss. Oh, geez, look at all. Who the?
How's the
Gus?
fruit?
It's a little on the tangy side, to be honest, but you know, the game is always sweetest to the hunter.
This guy's a lard ass. What you
So,
talking about?
What kind of hunter are you?
I've been trying to get this fruit all day, but I had some issues, and I almost gave up. But I went to the arcade.
You have to disguise the UID.
On 3 hypercrypts, and I was like, if I can do that, I can do anything! You know?
Of course. Everyone knows video games are good for your self-esteem.
You feeling meh? You still feeling a bit sick, Dan?
What's that thing you're sticking in the fruit?
Oh, this little tapper thing? That's so I can skip all the skin and fiber and just drink the juice right away. Juice, you know? That way all the phytonutrients and stuff get in your bloodstream faster.
Did
You want to
you
get healthy in a big hurry, man.
did you have today off as well, or were you back to work today? We have a future doctor in the house. Yeah, but he doesn't want to have to see naked people, I think, or something.
Hey, can I borrow that little fruit tapper?
Yeah, actually, I've been thinking the acid or something in the fruit is messing with the coating on this thing and giving it a weird taste. You can have it. I'll just squeeze it out natural.
Thanks.
Don't worry, I don't have a cold or anything.
Back to work, but kind of regret it. Oh man. Hopefully better tomorrow. Yeah. I don't want to see naked people, and I will never. You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing.
What's the big healthy rush?
Well, recently I was all hung up on my own.
Never. He plays League of Legends. You think he's gonna have the opportunity to
And I
see
had some
someone
time to
naked?
think. And then this girl hit me. It hit me. I need to turn my life around. Then I got that high score at the arcade, and now here I am, the king of health.
Looking at his newborn. Listen, how was he gonna get to the point of making a child? You work from home, so didn't have to go to the office at least. That's fair, but still, people who work from home tend to work way harder than they do at the office. Not always the case, but you know. You don't take breaks properly. You cut out a lot of other things that you probably should be doing. So, hopefully you're still resting, Dan. Not pushing yourself too hard. In a lab. The sun, you're leaving.
So why are you going to turn your life around?
Well, at first it was because of this girl McGee. I imagined her cheering me on through each level in 3D Hypercrypt.
The fuck?
But then when I reached the end, I realized McGee doesn't care about 3D Hypercrypt.
She doesn't play video games.
No, she thinks the 3D is a gimmick. She only plays the original. But what I'm saying is that the high score, the juicing, it's okay if it's just for me. I'm not doing this to impress anybody, you know?
That's good.
Okay.
So how are you going to turn your life around?
Well, like, what's the next step from here? Probably go back to the arcade, you know, and look for another sign. Lots of other high scores to beat, man.
Drinking all that juice, don't you have to use the bathroom a lot?
I'll let you in on a little secret. When you live in the clouds, you're never very far from a bathroom.
Oh, there are people down below. I was just down below.
Hey, watch the skies, man.
I'll let you get back to your juice.
Disgusting. This guy's got neckbeard written all over him. Good god. Anyway, moving swiftly along. It's an immune system skill issue. It's funny because it's true. Whoa, you can go pretty far out. Interesting. You're back, Lily. You're back with food. What did you have? Where's mine?
Strike us with your holy fruit.
Ooh, did you save some for me, Lily? I'm on the way. You lost it long ago? Oh man, is that what happens when you get old? It's the thing her son's supposed to fix for you, but he has a skill issue of his own. Oh my god. Her son, get good, man. How the rest of us gonna get better if you don't get good? You know? Can't imagine my doctor being a League enjoyer.
Maybe I should...
Hey, you want to buy a cupcake? It's a fundraiser.
What the
Good
fuck?
cause. Tell him, Rocky. They've got red frosting. Yes. So, whenever you're ready for some cupcakes for a good cause.
Hi, I'm Shay.
Want a cupcake, Shay?
I want a cupcake.
Great. Got any money?
No, but I support your cause.
That's great, but we need funds to pay for printing, distribution.
He's gonna try to ward your throats to see what's
Come
wrong.
back when you get some real cash, okay?
Imagine his son gets your test results back and tells you you have no mana. Oh my god. Give mana, Kotl. Okay, that's wrong game, but it's the same page.
What's the special cause?
We're raising money for an awareness campaign about her missing sister. And about the lies of the maidens.
What a cult. Oh shit. Did it choose Flash?
Cupcakes against lies.
Oh man. Hi Yoda!
What exactly are the lies of the Maiden's Feast system?
They told us that we had to offer maidens as a sacrifice to save our village. And we just went along with it because that's how it's always been done. Yeah, us too. But we were all lied to.
Yes, we were.
See, Rocky? I told you it'd be easy to convince people.
Why is it only maidens who are sacrificed?
Great question. Thank you. We have a lot of questions just like that.
So you're going to get rid of the whole system?
One cupcake at a time. Each one is like a question. We go from town to town, selling cupcakes, asking questions, until it's like a giant snowball of cupcakes and questions, rolling on and getting bigger and bigger, until it's big enough to take down a whole mog itself.
Wow.
Yeah, but, you know, you gotta start small.
When there are no patients on that day, his son question mark pinging his receptionist. The sickness in this tower, this medicine is blue buff. Okay, that one I don't get, but yeah. His son's just gonna use League terminology to explain everything to his patients.
Where are your parents?
Well, my dad is in my mom's cloud shoe hut, getting parenting lessons from Rocky's old man. And my mom's trying to cheer up another victim of the Maiden's Feast we met. A girl my sister's age. And I'm not supposed to tell anyone where my mom is, but I know. Let's just say she's catching dinner.
Well, bye. Good luck with the bake sale.
Missing Persons Awareness Campaign and Revolution by way of cupcakes.
That's what I said.
Oh man, this game is great. I like that all the little baby birds have hatched now. What's happening here with Grandpa? What the heck?
Okay, old man. This time you're going down. How'd you do that?
Say there.
How did Gramps get here? Oh, Lily. You've missed some, yeah.
Do you guys know any place around here to get some money?
Oh, I have lots of money. My dad says it's important to give it away. You want some?
Just enough to buy a cupcake.
Here you go.
Thanks. Why do you have so much?
Well, Pops gives it to me to give to Harmony. But I know Harmony likes to stay light, so I keep most of it myself to lighten his burden.
Oh my god, this
That'll
kid.
never hold up in court.
Somehow, I think you're going to end up the hero of your family.
I know, 'cause I'm a warrior.
Why are you beating up this little kid?
I'm not. I'm teaching him how to fight.
I'm on lesson 5.
He begged me.
What are you guys doing all the way out here?
We needed to find a place far away from everybody. Some people don't like to see an old man beating up on a little kid.
Or the other way around.
Uh-huh.
Did you guys see that bake sale over there?
Yep. Frosted them cakes myself. Fastest gun in the West. Dang,
What?
almost out of the red stuff. Only got enough for one more cake. I better save it. I want to make sure I have enough to make one for Bella.
What?
Find her.
You frosted all of those cupcakes by yourself?
Can't help it. I see a blank cupcake, I just have to frost it. I'm against this whole baker thing, but if we're gonna do it, then I'm gonna be the best at it.
Okay, Grandpa.
Me with fighting.
Do you really need that, King? You seem pretty light on your feet.
Well, I do seem to have a lot more get up and go now that Bella's inspired me. Seeing her kick that fog right in its soft bits really put the fight back in my bones. But I still need the cane. It's where I keep my frosting.
Okay, back to your lessons.
On your feet, soldier.
I am.
Oh,
Mm.
Such amazing fauna on this planet. I mean, place.
It brings you anxiety. It is a little bit creepy. So what do I have? Oh, I have
This
money.
local currency is weird. And it smells like nest funk.
Nest funk. Lovely. Oh my god, that is terrifying.
Hey, you want to buy a cupcake?
Yes.
It's
Give.
a fundraiser.
Give
Can I buy one of
cupcake.
those cupcakes? I got money.
Great. I will take that money. Here's your cupcake. The red frosting is special. It was her favorite kind. Well, actually, it's my favorite kind. But I never let her have any before.
No, Lily.
So now I
Not
wish
the
I could.
man chicken.
Rocky, it's okay.
Oh
I'm
man.
going to find her.
No, don't
She's probably
capigen
not
it.
eating
No,
up
no,
some
no.
log right now.
That is most definitely true.
JK,
thanks for the
do it.
cupcake.
Tell him, Rocky. They've got red frosting. Yes. So, whenever you're ready for some cupcakes for a good cause, we'll be right here.
Wait, what? Why it not work?
Yep.
What?
This guy is.
Why no work? Why doesn't it work though? Hey? It's too cursed? Don't I believe it? Hey? It won't even show up on the... Damn. That's kind of weird. Why do that?
Weirding me out. Yeah, let's just play dead. Maybe he'll go away. cupcakes. Red frosting cupcakes.
I don't really know what I need to be doing up here.
Such amazing fauna on this planet.
Yeah, but it should work. I'm pretty sure other ones work. That's so weird because, like, my BTTV ones work. I wanted to read the note. I don't know if you can read it again. I don't remember what it said.
You better not move it. I don't want to cheese off Gus. You better not move it.
Hmm.
Hey girl, want a cupcake? No? I wonder what would happen if I carefully
Oh,
inserted
this bird's gonna
tablet.
eat me.
Not very deep, of course. Just into the outer layer of the shell.
Oh!
I was just trying to get a sample.
Oh, little baby! That square-headed
Close.
motherfucker.
I better get out of here before she remembers to kill me.
Oh, I'll take that.
Well, look at that.
Hmm.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello, motherfucker. Hi, JP. Sorry. How are you doing? Also, Yoda, I'm doing okay. My jaw is killing me. But, you know, I'll live. That is so weird that that thing doesn't work. How are you doing, Yoda? Why are we woo man chickening? I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. Please don't woohoo the man chicken. Just saying. JP! How you doing, friend?
Let us
Whoops.
Maybe I should...
Hmm?
Uh-oh.
The man chicken is from Zelda, is it really? Whoops.
You stole the material for those robes, and you should give them back.
He stole years of our lives. How's he gonna give those back, huh?
I'll be back.
Yeah, that's what the Deadeye got.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Somehow the load shedding god skipped our 4-hour slot this evening. Oh man, actually my in-laws had that as well. We were at their house and they were supposed to have load shedding, but they ended up just not.
I don't want to tempt him. He's doing so... Mind if I take one of these?
Please, spread the word. We might just save some lives here, man.
Oh? Okay.
Do you know how to revitalize a dead robot?
I'd probably give it some juice.
Uka? My inventory, I have loads of shit. I have the spoon.
Stay on alert. I think there might be food around.
Always, sir.
Oh, actually.
I don't see anything there I want to eat.
Oh, never mind. I have a blueprint. I have a control thing.
Gary's definitely out of range now.
For Gary, but
hope
he's
he's
on the
okay.
ship. There's a baby suit.
Of all the things I could have taken from our ship, I end up with my useless baby radiation suit. It's the crochet hook. I
Crochet
used to
hook?
hack my ship's navigation system. Seemed like such a good idea at the time.
I have
Doesn't
a...
look like he survived getting
Whoa.
thrown off the ship. Poor guy.
I need the wire for this, but to get the wire, I needed to give the lady something. I can't remember what I needed to give her. I got a cupcake, eggshell, and the fruit that I just got now. Tell me if you want a hint. No worries, no worries. I actually played this morning for like 2 hours, and I think I did a good job. Perhaps they're working on finding a fault. You keep the lights going to solve whatever. Yeah, that's very optimistic, JP. I had no power until like 8:30, which is why I wasn't streaming. There go my plans to sleep for the next week. Wait, why are you sleeping? Oh, the bird left. Oh, because of the Uka thing? I don't want to go look at that. I don't want to know what that's all about. Let's go talk to this girlie. See if she's still there, I guess. Oh! That's the mom.
What happened to this place?
Haven't you ever been to the Maiden's Feast?
Yes and no.
Which is it?
No one should ever have to go to a Maiden's Feast. And no one ever will again, if I can have anything to do with it.
I'm cool with that.
Should I open that link that Yoda sent?
What exactly is a Maiden's Feast?
Something we've always had to do. So we were told. And
It's
we
fine,
believed
just a
it.
little disturbing. Maybe
Thought
I
it a
won't
great
open it
honor.
then.
I'm so
Thank you for the
happy
head
her.
pats, the hearts, and the
So
onigiris.
proud of her. So foolish.
Why are all her family up here now? So we're playing the other side of the story now, Lily.
So, Maiden's Feasts are bad then?
My daughter taught us that when she fought the monster. You see, it didn't destroy the town. It just ran away. She was right the whole time, all those years. All those girls. For nothing.
I'm not sure if you want to hear this, Morelia, but you're actually cheering me up right now.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I just want to find my daughter. To beg her forgiveness and
Just
tell
trying
her
to educate?
how
No, thank
proud
you.
of her I am.
I want to remain ignorant.
Please,
Thank you
Please
very
be my
much.
mother.
What were you guys talking about when I walked up?
I was just trying
Don't
to cheer up this
woohoo it,
young
please,
lady.
Lily.
But she's just starting to realize what a loser I am.
Oh god.
You are not.
Why are you guys
didn't
like
Mom
this?
Chothra pick me?
Well, I'm not sure, honey.
Just casually traumatizing people. No, no woohoos. Do you guys know what a woohoo is? Have you ever played The Sims?
Maybe he was in a hurry.
Don't send it to your mum.
Who are you again?
Her son,
My name is
please.
Shay.
She doesn't
I'm not
deserve
from
it.
here.
Me or your
Listen,
actual
Twyla.
mum.
It's time
Neither
to
of
move
us
on.
deserve it.
And do what? The Maiden's
I hope you don't
Feast
get
is the
banned.
only
You're gonna
thing
get
I've prepared
disowned,
for
her
all
son.
my life.
Well, I'm sure you're good at lots of other things. Like, let me think.
Not getting chosen for things.
Swinging?
You making fun of me?
Fixing spaceships?
No, we don't have many of those around here.
Where do you think the man chickens come from? Oh my god. Stop flashing your woohoos. Okay, but guys, in The Sims, the woohoo is sexy times. Y'all just woohooing the man chickens? Nah. You really don't want to know where they come from? Same. I am not perceiving any more woohooing of man chickens. Thank you very much.
Algebra.
Nope. Not part of Maiden's training.
You know what you were typing, Lily? No!
Well, at least your costume is cool.
Oh, thanks. Made it myself.
You made that
Oh,
stunning dress
y'all
by
nasties.
yourself? That's amazing, Twyla.
Meh. fat lot of good it did me.
Could you make me a
Do you think
costume?
you could make me a costume?
Huh?
Oh, I think that would be a great thing for you to do, Twyla.
Well, maybe if you had a pattern and some material, maybe I could whip something up.
Okay, I'll get a pattern and the material and be right back.
Oh, exciting.
You just sealed a sesame seed in your rolling paper. Lily, what? How did it get in there? Lily, what? You're gonna smoke the sesame seed? It's in there now. I mean, fair. Toasted sesame. Just don't die, okay? Okay, let's try this bullshit again. Hi, Tian! How are you doing, you stinker?
Would it help if I threw you a crochet hook?
Please, I try to avoid useless possessions.
Not you.
I can't do that from here.
I need to sneeze.
Aren't you gonna figure out how to get me down?
Goddamn. Okay, we're good. Gonna taste like a burger. I thought you said booger for a second. I was like, how do you know? I'm doing okay.
Still up here.
Oh, shut up, you.
By the way, please don't touch that bow. No reason.
Maybe next time I need a back scrap. Psst. Father.
Father.
Hello?
It's me.
Let's give that knot another try, okay?
Burger. It's going to taste like burger. Tug on different
Just
parts.
tug on different parts.
Yep. I don't think that was right.
What does it look like now?
Well, like a whole new, terrible knot.
Would it help if I threw you a crochet hook?
Please, I try to avoid useless possessions.
Do I need to give him the
I
peach?
can't do that from here.
Oh.
You
Scoop.
look like an ice cream sundae, but I don't think that will work.
Do you want... No, I need
I
that.
want to grind in. I can't do that from here.
I can't throw him cupcake? Do you want the
I
cupcake?
can't do that from here. I can't do that from here.
Hey, I'm still up here.
Titan?
Aren't you gonna figure out how to get me down? What are you waiting for?
Titan?
Hey, I'm still up
Or
here.
just Tit, yeah. Titian. Wait, why are we calling you a tit now? I thought you were a stinker. Just say bitch. Why is he a bitch? It's your boy, Titties!
There's some sort of flyer in here.
Oh?
Hey, this is that girl that tried to punch me. Please contact the Tartine family in Sugar Bunting if you have any information about our beloved daughter. How do I break it to them that their daughter was swallowed by my spaceship? Definitely leave out the part about it being my spaceship, for starters.
Okay.
I want to tell these people that I've seen their daughter. I'm not ready to answer all the questions they'll surely have.
You're going to bed? Because we're talking about titties. Someone say titties? Hell yeah. Nighty night, titted. Sleep well, sweet dreams. What happened to the spaceship and the fox? Alright, so I did stream this morning as well. But basically, we... Yoda, do you remember in the beginning of this game, we were a girl running around trying to defeat the big monster? This monster who kept, like, eating girls. Do you remember that part? Okay, so... the spaceship we were on was the monster eating the girls. So... we crashed because this girl, like, shot it down, right?
Your boy underscore Tion screamed Tion, Titian, Tit An, Titian, Tit, T, your boy T, your boy Titian, your boy Tit,
Titian.
your boy Titties.
Yeah, boy, titties. It should be titties with a D though. Yeah, boy, titties. Yeah, so the girl shot down the monster, which was our ship, which means that our ship got shot down, and that's why we're out the ship now. We're in the place where the girl was. So she attacked us, like tried to punch us, and she fell into the ship, and then the ship left without us, and we got left here. I can't remember what she needed. She needed a hook,
Hey,
right?
Carol.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
You seem good with your hands. Know anything about knots?
Sure. Tying or untying?
Untying.
I see. What's it look like?
A little bit like you, strangely enough.
I think I know that one. Well, let me just draw you a quick diagram. Oh, darn.
What?
Well, I can't seem to find anything to draw with. I'm sorry. I guess I'm of no use after all.
Hang on. I'll be right back with a writing utensil.
I want to give her this
Need
as
a
well.
hook?
Sure do. Oh, look, kid. That's a nice hook, but I'm not fishing for minnows, you know.
Your boy underscore Tion screamed. 10 biddies, gay.
I'll prove it.
Yay.
Sure, kid.
You have trauma because of your name? Wait, why? Thank you for the
I need to help
biddies.
Dad balance the pH of his hole patch mixture.
T-yarn.
If only I had
Tian.
my instruments.
Dad?
Son,
Alright.
Dad? Did you know we weren't in space the whole time?
no, but I had my suspicions. In my nightly maintenance patrols of the ship's exterior, I found many anomalies I couldn't explain.
Did you and Mom know about Merrick?
Who?
The guy in the wolf suit, who lived in the vents of the ship.
If there was someone on the ship without our knowledge, that could only be the work of the Thrushmaster,
Pardon?
the head of Operation Dandelion. But why send an operative and not tell us?
Everyone is calling me everything but my name. But I only ever call you Ya Boy Tian. I guess I called you Stinker tonight, but I normally call you Ya Boy Tian.
Sorry I treated you and Mom like machines.
Oh, you didn't all the time, son.
So the
Until
fox
you
was
turned
us.
13,
He's a wolf.
We didn't annoy you at all.
But
Plus,
yes,
you can make up for it.
he did
by
seem a little
helping
bit
us get
sus.
Your mother off that
There was
ship.
a cello with the same name on someone else's ship, so very strange.
I'm going to see what I can find out.
Okay, I'm gonna.
GG's.
That might affect the pH, but until I figure out a way to measure it, I better not experiment. Think your mixture could use some eggshells?
Well, the calcium carbonate in them could help balance the pH level. Why don't you give it a shot?
That might affect the pH, but until I figure out a way to measure it, I better not experiment.
The dad was real? Yeah, both of the parents were real. I feel like I only streamed for 2 hours earlier, but I feel like we all missed a lot.
Can I borrow your space pencil?
It's just a regular pencil, but okay.
Okay, see you later.
Okay.
Did you stream early? I did stream early, but I streamed early today, not
Hey,
early
You got
tomorrow.
this old-timey laser coil and amplifying core.
Trying to see. No?
It's got that girl on top, Bella. Except, how about this little guy? Would he help? On my ship, they were good at fixing all kinds of things, especially electronics.
Incredible. Much more advanced than the units I'm used to. He's probably exactly what we need.
Is that Elijah Wood? It
Looks like he needs
is!
some rewiring. And that tech is way beyond me.
But I streamed this morning, Hassan. How you doing, Haruyuki? That says my name, like in the most Afrikaans. But your name is Afrikaans. Is the full one Christian? Dad's gotta whip out the full name, man, not just Tian. It's gotta be the full name. With the belt. Chase you down with a Gonna go watch the VOD. Sorry for all the questions. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'm trying to catch you up, but honestly, I didn't realize how much really happened in those 2 hours. I did not think a lot happened, but I was just fucking nooming. What is this?
Not sure what this strange diamond-shaped socket is for.
Nothing I currently have, I guess. Anyway. It was a dense 2 hours, apparently. Chris! No, man. Christian.
Hey, Carol.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Hold on.
Well, good luck and good fishing, Carol.
Ciao.
I needed to give her the pencil, right?
Hey, I found a pencil.
Oh, great. Hand it over, honey. Now.
Also, Lily, what did you mean? When will you wear wigs?
Oh, yeah. Untying
Me?
knots.
My VTuber?
I think I know that one.
I'm a cosplayer. I wear wigs all the time.
Follow those instructions exactly, or you'll have a totally different knot on your hands.
You're very rude, hey? My brew. Oh my god, she's uneducated. Lily, what? Eh? Y'all Zoomers be talking in code again. Oh, is it a TikTok? It has to be a TikTok, right?
This diagram is good for one thing. Untying knots.
What in the unheavenly fuck is this? Christ alive. Okay. Why do I feel like I know, but I also don't know?
Have fun with the metal.
Later, Shader.
Oh, okay. Ain't fuck all in here for me, I guess. I'll just go fuck myself then. You slid in my- oh my goodness. Like a fucking snail, Lily. You just slid in there. Why are you sending me fucking Yoda's raid message, Lily? You animal. Oh, okay. I have actually watched this. Lily's just fucking Yoda raiding into my... Okay, I have watched that before, and I was very confused when I saw it. 10 out of 10 though. Thank you, Lily. Thank you for snail sliding into my DMs there. Just moving along with Yoda's fucking raid message. Just as well that you're a fucking snail. Slow ass raiding into my fucking DMs. How dare you? Fucking pluggies in the DMs even. The most sus. Okay. What? I don't think I understood this at all.
Good for one thing: untying knots.
Neighbor. What does this even mean? Okay, hold on. I don't understand why he doesn't just keep climbing up. Like,
how does that big cloud stay afloat?
Just keep going.
Like all the other clouds, there's nothing.
Okay, see you later. I have a diagram here that will show you how to untie that knot.
Read it to me. I can't read and work the knot at the same time.
It's just pictures.
I'm a verbal learner.
Oh my god.
Further, could you try to describe that knot to me?
I don't think so. Really.
Chilling with the homies, chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken macaroni. Chilling with the homies, welcome homies. Hey, 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 chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. Oh my god, it's a T-Max raid. Welcome raiders, it's so lovely to have you all here. How was your stream, Yoda? What were you up to today? What were you playing? Oh, look at those pluggies there. Thank you, Jargon. Yo, raid. You're so confused. Yeah, we know that. You say it a lot. You played Man Chicken? Oh, God.
Let's give that knot
Oh,
another try,
my
okay?
goodness. That was good, Yoda. Okay, so... what does number 1 mean? Number 2 is steal the banana. So our options are tug on the piggy's tail. I wonder if I should move myself. I think I should, actually. Let me just, if you'll excuse me for a moment. This bitch! Be bitchin'. Okay, so my options. Tug on the piggy's tail. Steal the banana, which I think is number 2. Poke the clown in the eye. And she loves me not. Ah! Jesus. Oh, it's an actual raid. Hey, hey, chilling with the homies. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni. Chilling with the homies. Welcome, homies. Hey, 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 chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. God. Thank you so much for the raid, Puppety. I got such a fright. Welcome, raiders. Can we get some shouty outies for Puppety? How was your stream? You were playing It Takes Two. Did you play with Mama B? Please tell me you play with Mama B. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Alpha Lily. The raid gave me such a fright, man. Ah! Parade! Oh my god, it's a parade. That's a good one, Dan. I like that one. Ah, gosh. Also, I just realized, do you guys remember when I was giving everyone's nicknames? Did I say everyone's? When I was giving everyone nicknames, Dan's nickname would be Fuck Fuck. Was Dan not here for the naming ceremony? Where I gave everyone shortened nicknames? Coincidentally, also his nickname in high school. Oh, Christ alive. That was some good shit. Puppety, did you have a good stream? Did you guys have fun? It's an amazing game. I love it. Okay, let's I don't know, man. Is this the piggy? Is that the piggy's tail? Let's say poke the clown in the eye.
I think I see what you mean.
Oi, oi, oi.
Take that, nah.
Okay. This one is the banana.
Steal the banana.
Yep. I think we're getting somewhere.
I hope so. Fucking hell. Play patty cake. Okay, that one actually sounds right.
Make the baby play patty cake.
Okay. Hey, that did something.
Hey, get your mitts off that!
What the heck?
Avert your eyes! Here, get me a towel.
Look at all this junk he stole.
Beard, what is all that stuff?
I know
It's always fun when Mama B is involved. Oh, fantastic.
Understand. I might need some of this stuff someday.
This guy's a hoarder.
Everything you said about lightness, I don't know what I believe.
GG's, Hassan.
You get a line and I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line. This is bad.
Hey, is that a heavy-duty anti-gravity thrust unit right there?
Further is a liar. No. This guy's Further. The other guy is Hominy. Hominy. Hominy.
As a matter of fact, is there any place you'd like it delivered?
Yep, this came from my ship. Someone must have looted it while I was asleep.
You sure you don't want to ride over the plague dam with us, Father?
No, I need to go.
I didn't know my grandmother was in the game. Wait,
Goodbye,
what?
Space Boys.
Goodbye, Space Boys.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to look young, but I'm obviously a grown man, right?
Sweet!
Any idea who stole this anti-gravity thrust unit from your ship?
Could have been anyone. I was asleep for so long. A lot of good those guards did me. Might as well be blind.
The funny thing is that they are blind. Supposedly. Your grandmother's a hoarder? Oh, really? A hoarder of boxes? Boxes are good, man. You can put things in them. I love boxes. Okay, so...
How about a little fruit to wash it down? Hey, a simple no thank you will do.
F1 Ford 50 with 5,000 HP and 27 engines. Lily, what? Lily smoking things. That guy kinda what, Tian? Throwing away boxes pains me. That's why my office is a mess. I am Mal's grandmother. Oh my god. Yes, Jargon. You are now Mao's grandmother. Whenever whenever I'm on a call with Jargon, if he moves too much, you can hear the shuffle of boxes in the background. Jargon's your grandmother? Yes. What's a gwirly pop? What are you talking about, Tian? What happened to him? I don't know. He's choking on something. I'll sneak into her room and take a picture of the empty donut boxes. Donut boxes specifically? Thank you for the shouty. Of course, Puppety. You're almost at the sesame. Are you excited, Lily? Oh, more shit. Tian! His shell music thingy? Shell? I think he swallowed one of the yarn pells, to be honest. No, that's not a zoomer, okay? I don't use TikTok. I don't know what y'all talking about. TikTok generation. Okay, so... How do I test this for her?
Something tells me I shouldn't mess with these guys.
They'll fuck my shit up.
I don't think I want to grind any eggshell onto that.
The sesame caught fire! Lily, are you okay? Are your eyebrows okay? She stores boxes in boxes. She only has a single room. All the boxes are literally stacked in her shower. She don't shower? Oh!
I can't reach it.
This isn't a trick. I'm really singing. Trout's on.
Nah, I couldn't reach the fish with that.
What did the fish doorman do to the underage
Tree.
Human?
That fish up there in your branches? Can I have it?
Sorry, I caught it. Until it falls from my branches, it's mine. That's the code of the trees.
Hey, want to hear a joke?
Ooh, is it a tree joke?
Girly pop means fruity, gay, homosexual, laying with another man, kissing other men. You know, the thing the Bibble doesn't want us to do. I mean, I could guess that, but like... Seems like a weird thing to ask Tian, I'm just gonna say. She don't shower, she vaguely wets herself by the sink and then drowns out any smell with her horrid perfume. Oh my god.
Did you hear the local coffee shop has a no oaks policy?
What? In this day and age?
Jargon 1674 screamed girly pop memes. Fruity, gay, homosexual, laying with another man, kissing other men. You know the thing the Bible doesn't want us to do.
The Bible. That is our holy book. The Bible. Please abide by the Bible. No gays. She vaguely wets herself by the sink. We don't like this person very much, Lily. But I hope you don't become like her. You're leaving? Bye, Hassan. You don't believe in the Bible, Hassan? Cease. Shame on you. You should feel bad or something, I don't know. Let her rot and become a box then. If that's okay. Yeah, I don't think we like Miles' grandma very much. Stick her in a box. Stick her in all of the donut boxes when she dies. At least then she'll be somewhat useful. Oh!
I gotta make like a leaf and leave.
Okay, kid.
Bad joke is bad.
Hey, everybody, this round's on me.
Oh. Do you want the cupcake?
Hungry? I have a cupcake.
Ooh, delicious. Just bury it near my roots and I'll slowly absorb its nutrients as it breaks down into soil.
Sounds time-consuming.
Tia, no, that's such a weird this is a kid. This is a child. Yamete kudasai. What did he say?
Tree.
Human?
Shit.
Oh, come on. You don't need that fish.
I happen to think it brings an interesting asymmetry to my look. So back off.
Later, Tree.
Oh.
What did he say about the cupcake?
Hungry? I have a cupcake.
Ooh, delicious. Just bury it near my roots and I'll slowly absorb its nutrients as it breaks down into soil.
Sounds time-consuming.
Humans and trees have different perspectives on time, I suppose.
No, I've got bigger plans for this cupcake. I'm just not sure what they are yet. I don't like to eat things with faces.
It was the auto mod. Calm down, Tian. The auto mod prevented it. I think it's to prevent or to avoid bullying. Family toxic as fuck. It's true. It's true. Sometimes, Puppety, it's not a bad thing to cut off your family if they're not good for you. Bye, bitches. GG's Hassan. I'm making very slow progress at the moment, but it's okay. Oh my goodness. Hassan. Yoda, you got that in my head now, motherfucker.
Do you know this girl?
Oh, I see you got one of our flyers. We're spreading them all around, hoping to find out where she went after she landed here.
I told you everything I know.
It was stuck in your head, now it's in mine. What the heck, man?
Uh-oh.
Cupcakes! Red frosting cupcakes!
How's the campaign going?
It's building, cup by cup.
Is this one of your materials?
Great, you got one. May I ask if you heard about us at work, home, from a friend, or other?
Someone else's mailbox.
Alrighty, and thanks for taking our survey.
You want a cupcake? Me too.
I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose.
No, man.
I
Say there.
Huh?
Why are you beating up this little kid?
Not. I'm teaching him how to fight.
I'm on lesson 5.
He begged me.
Okay, back to your lesson.
I don't think there's anything else to this conversation.
I am.
Oh.
Do you want the cupcake?
You want to frost this cupcake?
You blind? It already has frosting on it.
I'll eat it.
Yeah? Does the kid want it? Oh, I can't give it to him.
How about some delicious fruit?
I'll have some.
You're in training. No snacks.
No snacks.
No.
It's really only good for protecting babies from radiation.
Babies.
Which is important. Do you know this girl?
That's my granddaughter. Only one in this family that's got any sense.
Kid is a mood, yeah, he just wants to eat.
I like the way she smells.
Sacrifice the potato child? What the fuck? You wanna sacrifice my child? Kinda weird.
Cupcakes. Red frosting.
I'm not going near that baby bird. Might be a mama bird around.
Help find Bella Tartine. Buy a cake.
That baby bird's shell was so thick. It never would have busted out without me.
Cupcakes.
I want to tell these people that I've seen their daughter.
Red frosting cupcakes.
I'm not ready to answer all the questions they'll surely have.
Help find Bella.
Crinkle cut his ass. What the fuck? You guys are violent, man. The potato child must die for us. Jeez. Oh, this guy's in jail now.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
They all turned on me, after all I've done for them.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
How long do you think they'll keep you locked up?
You know, I'm not even worried for myself. But what did they do with all my stuff?
What did they do with all
Have
this
any
stuff?
regrets?
I should have never abandoned my underwater commune. Now that was a sweet gig. I just got so sick of fish, you know?
Want me to get you out?
No. This cage is really for my protection.
He knows. It's not showing an emote for me.
What's Harmony doing in that cage?
Father carried him down here and stuffed him in. Told us not to let him out. Said he was getting rid of some trash the town didn't need anymore.
It's a
I'm sure he'll let him back out eventually.
Or maybe
Oh, it's
a
not
big
showing me
monster will come and
anything.
eat him.
Don't you have any extra material yourself?
I put everything I got into this outfit. I thought I was gonna be dead tomorrow.
Oh, honey.
Oh, are you just typing it out and pressing tab and it's filling out the person's name?
Can I just describe the costume I want?
I don't do freestyle, sorry. I need visuals. Helps me deal with customer complaints.
I'll let you get back to your conversation.
Suz. Suz Lily. Oh, Lily's having
I'll
a
let you
hard
get
time.
back to your conversation. Want me to get you out?
Oh, no.
No.
Release me, fool. This is what I want. Give me this.
So, can you make me one of those?
Oh, that's adorable. How old is your baby?
Oh, it's for me. I needed a little
Whoa!
Well, I suppose I could use this for a reference.
There's
Yeah, not in front of the people,
Just
man.
get me the material you want for your giant baby onesie and we're good to go.
It's not a... never mind. Be right back with the material.
Okay.
Hey, do you guys know this girl?
Rough brew.
Oh, that's my beautiful daughter. We put those flyers out hoping
Y'all
to
were
find
all
her.
excited to feed her to the
looks just
fucking
like you.
monster.
You remind me of her. I hope I can introduce you to her someday.
They already met. What the fuck? It's badonk honk. What do you think it could be, Tian? When you're badonk honks, what do you think it means? Your booty tootin'. Please be serious for a second. I'm only asking for a second. Please. Thank you for the onigiris. Yay, Lily! Oi! A whole ass bowling ball. Unbelievable. And then you have the audacity to give me head pats afterwards.
I found this in your mailbox.
Fella's family must have left that when they came marching through here. I wonder what they're still doing upstairs.
You thought it was gonna bonk? An even better question, why you wanna bonk me, Tian? What the fuck, man? Switch your shit out. Unbelievable. Fucking Zoomers, man.
That shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A, yes, this shit is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A, yes.
Oh yeah, he's definitely confused. If he doesn't know what a badonk is.
Hey, do you know this girl?
Oh God, that face. The memories.
Whoa!
You're every bit as cruel as her.
My guy, relax. Damn.
I wish I could shake it down.
Hey, everybody, this round's on me.
Oh yeah. You've been confused your whole life? I can tell. Thank you for the onigiris, Lily. I'm still unsure how I'm about...
Dad?
Son?
How's the hole patch coming?
Great. Except I can't add the final ingredient until I know I have the pH balanced correctly.
How would you change the pH anyway?
I've added all the calcium carbonate I could get my hands on, just to lower the acidity and raise the pH to be...
You don't have to? Yeah, I
somewhere
agree,
in the
Lily.
ballpark.
You don't have
But I
to.
need to know it's exactly 7 before I put in the final ingredient.
How would you lower the pH?
I would try to find something mildly acidic. Oh, what I wouldn't do for some splarg right now.
So, cereal is acidic?
No. It just helps me think.
Good luck, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this girl? I get the feeling you have. I specifically remember that feed choking victim a cupcake is not one of the steps you learn in first aid.
Tian just can't spell her son. Don't worry about him. Whoa.
Okay, see you later.
Okay.
No, I've got bigger plans for this cupcake. I'm just not sure what... So, you know this girl?
Yep, that's Vela. Oh, wow. I didn't realize her family was looking for her. I wonder if they'll follow the trail up here eventually.
This entire thing's shaking.
I don't think I want to grind any eggshell onto that. I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose. Would a crochet hook be one of the tools you need to fix your ship?
My ship's not knit together.
Of course not. That would be crazy. What am I supposed to do with this diagram?
Oh.
I thought you'd want to know what a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam looked like so you could find one.
The dad single? The dad? No. The mother is the PC. No, but they're real. They're real people. Lily, that's something that you missed. So remember the dad used to also be in the computer? Yeah. He spouted an entire body when they left the ship, so, you know. That happened.
Humans are just...
I jest not, Lily. I am 100% legit right now. Think you can make this for me?
Hey, do you think you could use your metalworks there to make me one of these?
Man, that is one cool looking candle holder.
The poor mother.
I'd love to make you one, but I work from molds, not diagrams. Sorry.
God damn it. Fuck this guy. I just ran all the way here for nothing. Do you want some fruit?
Want some fruit?
From that big tree in Mariloft? No thanks. I had some earlier. Too tangy for my tastes.
Do you want to go big?
Want a cupcake?
No, thanks. I bought a dozen from this family doing a fundraiser, and I ate, like, all of them.
Wow.
Well, I wanted to do my part.
Oh my god. Dan, please. Stop. Stop the madness. Stop the man chickens. Lily, not you as well. No Wololos! No Wololos as well, Dan. What the fuck? That's pluggies in and of itself. Wololos is pluggies.
Mighty tree, let us serve you.
You stole the material for those robes, and you should give them back.
Did not mean to click on them.
Years of our lives. How's he gonna give those back, huh?
I'll be back.
I needed a stick. I don't
that's
think
what
I've
the
seen a
Jedi
stick
gods
anywhere. Thanks for the lurkies, Puppety.
Have you guys seen this girl?
Hey, that's... I mean... That's the sound of paper. Yep,
They're not
definitely
actually
the sound of
blind.
paper. Every leaf is a miracle.
You guys want some fruit?
We can't eat it now that we worship it. At least we think that's one of the rules. We're still kind of making it up as we go.
Hey, can you guys read an engineering blueprint?
That's just what the Deadeye God asked us. He of all people should know that we're blind. We did it for him.
I've got a crochet hook. Get ready to fight.
Oh, is that how
Oh?
you make your yarn pals? Come back with a real weapon.
Oh. I thought that could have been a cool weapon, not gonna lie. Oh!
I feel like I shouldn't do that.
Yeah? Why not?
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Do you know this girl?
Oh yeah, she tried to kill me.
What the fuck? I saved your ass!
Really?
Yeah, basically.
That's where the conversation just ends. Okay. Wait, we can click...
Target acquired.
What?
Just gotta line up the shot.
What?
Almost got it. Hold still. Right in my crosshairs. Won't know what hit her. Death from above! Ah, rats! I thought I had that one.
The fuck?
Were you trying to stab me? Why?
Don't take it personally, kid. It's just what I do. For instance, just a minute ago, I took down this whole ship after ripping the very fabric of space itself. To you got off easy.
Just when I thought things couldn't get any stranger.
What?
I know you'll be back. Something tells me you're a girl who knows the value of a good knife.
What are you doing inside the monster Mob Chothra?
Monster? Kid, you are inside the spaceship Massa Nostra. Or, just outside of it, actually.
Can I just confirm that you are a talking knife? Because I'm trying to figure out if I'm losing my mind or just mildly hallucinating.
Oh, I'm the real deal, kid. A technological marvel. And sharp, too.
We're outside of a spaceship? Then how can I breathe?
Don't ask me. I'm solid state. I gotta admit, though, this ship and everything around it has been acting a little nutty since I cut it. But that's to be expected.
Who's the captain of this ship?
Why you think
Well,
good
the other
job?
kid who just tumbled through that break spot in space, that's the one we called Commander. But the real brains of the operation, we just call Mom.
Oh?
Where can I find Mom?
Beats me. Haven't heard from her in a while. But hey, I didn't stab her. Can't pin that on me.
You're coming with me. And for the record, I took down this ship.
Whatever. Ride's a ride.
Okay.
It's the trigger to Alex's death ray. When you find a pair of shoes that fit, hang on to them. That's what I say.
Oh, I'm stuck as her now? Oh, okay. I didn't mean to actually change to her, so, you know.
Attention. Current altitude below recommended level. Outer hull breach detected. Attempting emergency takeoff.
You want to know how much is left? I don't know.
Ship off axis.
I thought I was gonna finish it before, and then all of this happened, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Because there's just like a lot more.
They're already cut. Looks like this thing took some damage
6 years.
from me.
Oh wait, I can switch back. I'll go back to her once I've done a bit more here, cause like, man, I have so many things on me and I don't know what to do with them. So I want to give the crochet hook to the mom, but she's like, prove that you can catch things with it, and I'm just like,
I've got a crochet hook. Get ready to fight.
Oh, is that how you make your yarn?
what am I supposed to catch with it, first of all? And then I need to give the eggshells to my dad so that he can use it to balance the pH, but like, he says I need to measure it first, and I don't know how to measure it. Thanks for the balloons, Yoda. So I'm just like,
I don't think I want to grind any eggshell onto that. I don't think I want to grind any eggshell onto that. Do you know this girl?
Oh, I see you got one of our flyers.
So...
Could either of you build me something if I had a detailed schematic of it?
Son, if I were back in my kitchen, not only could I build it, it would be delicious. Unfortunately, we're not there.
Hmm. Happy birthday! Whose birthday is it? Happy birthday! Happy birthday, whoever's birthday it is. Skip all the cutscenes, man. Don't think there's anything I can give this guy. You saw balloons? I have balloons all the time. What do you mean?
Humans are just...
I've detected an unusual rock formation on the surface.
That's not rock. It's the hardened shell of my sick, summoned from my gut by a banshee in a shredded gown.
You don't say. Never seen one of those before.
Hey, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Want some fruit to hold in your branches?
Hey, not all of us want to bear fruit, okay?
Happy birthday!
Our decision not to have any fruit, so don't make any assumptions, please.
All right. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It's just that my parents always bring it up, you know?
Why spur birthday? This should definitely...
Nah, I couldn't reach the fish with that.
But seriously, people, what is up with airplane food?
What is up with airplane food?
This hook may look small, but it's made from really advanced materials. You could catch a whale with this thing.
Mm-hmm. Prove it.
How do I prove it, lady?
How can I prove to Carol that this would make a great fish hook? I don't think there's anything in there I want to fish out.
Have you ever had a birthday at Spur in your life? Several, when I was a kid.
Do you know how to make something from a schematic drawing?
Yes. Just as long as it's a drawing of shoes.
Thanks, lady.
I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose. Have you seen this girl?
Hey, that's the girl who found a way off of Mariloft for all of us. Really great kid. I hope I get to thank her someday.
It's gone. Nothing down there now but sand.
Skiing. Why is that stuck in my head? What can I catch with this?
What if that whistling sound is actually something caught in his throat? Maybe I could fish it out with this.
Sir, you are more likely to force the object further down his throat if you attempt that. I recommend a sudden constricting pressure to the abdomen instead. Trust me, choking prevention is my business.
You know when they sing and clap for you? Yeah, that's a Spur birthday. Okay, that's fair.
I don't think that would help me get this hypercan made.
I wonder. GG's, son.
That must have been danger. I was snarling. Hate to do this to you, big guy, but I've got stuff to do. No time for play right now.
I wanted to see if I could... I was thinking of,
I don't want to mess up this horn. It's a serious safety device. I don't want to mess up this horn. It's a serious... I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose. Probably shouldn't.
So what I wanted to do, I was like, what if I can hook the snake on this and then use it to fish with?
I don't want to mess up this horn.
But I can't think of what I'm supposed to fish with the freaking hook. I'm just like going in circles at the moment because I'm like, what do I do next? I think I might be ready for a hint, Hassan, because I'm a little bit confused. Thank you, Yoda.
I'm not going near that baby bird. It might be a mama bird.
Yeah, I do want a hint.
I feel like I shouldn't do that.
Give him a joke until he laughs? Oh no, I hate it here. Jelly donuts? Money? But that's being dishonest. That doesn't make any sense. The thing is, like, I tried to tell him a joke, but all the jokes were really bad, and I was just like, this is not gonna work. I don't know if you saw the joke options I had, but they were embarrassing at best. Because I did tell him a joke, but he didn't find it funny, and I was like, oh, fine, I'll go fuck myself then.
Tree. Okay, let me try another joke.
Okay.
Did you hear about the First National Tree Bank?
No, what? I have all my money in the First National Tree Bank.
It closed down.
Oh no, my whole life savings.
Looks like you just lost all your green.
He's not gonna laugh.
Nothing to joke about, young man.
Sorry, it sounded less mean in my head.
4 kids censored onigiri in English dub in most animes. They call them jelly donuts. I don't know if that counts as censoring. I think that's just localization, to be honest. I don't think they were hiding onigiri from the world. I think they were just trying to make it easier for cracker kids to understand.
Okay, let me try another joke.
Okay.
How many lumberjacks does it take to change a light bulb?
2. One to murder a tree to make a ladder, the other to change the light bulb.
That's a reasonable number, actually.
This guy.
Okay, let me try another joke.
Okay.
What's the smallest full-grown tree you ever heard of?
Well, some say the dwarf willow, but it's really no more than a shrub, if you ask me.
None of these are funny, Hassan.
Right. So this dwarf willow walks into a taco shop, right?
That's unlikely, considering the harsh Arctic climates in which it's usually found.
They sell snow tacos, okay?
That and the fact that trees don't walk.
Why do you hate jokes?
I'll tell you when I hear one.
Okay, let me try another joke.
Are they all bad? I just have to find the least worst one.
Why did the president of the Chipmunks get impeached?
Ooh, I bet he did something cheeky. Am I right?
Hey, this is my joke.
Okay, okay. What did he do?
I heard he threw a clock out a window.
What window? He lives outdoors.
You can't overanalyze humor.
Humor is a strong word for this.
Okay.
I know I need
Let
to
me
pick
try another
something
joke.
tree related, but like...
Okay.
They keep changing.
Say, do you know old Pete the pine tree?
Piney Pete down the hill? Sure. Good friend of mine.
You can't see the last one? I can't imagine why that would be.
Well, I hear he got in some really big trouble.
Oh no, what for?
Killed a cop. It's Mosen's bedtime. Sweet dreams, Mosen. I think he killed a cop. Cheated on his sap tax, and then the last one says it seems he was being really naughty. But his son says it's the first one.
He wouldn't give a guy this fish caught in his branches.
Is that a threat or something?
No, it's a joke, I swear.
You humans, there's always the threat of violence just under the surface.
Hey, Puppety, thank you, thank you. Hassan, you misled me.
Okay, let me try another joke.
Okay.
Do you know why penguins don't have Christmas trees?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because they don't believe in tree murder?
Oh my god.
Never mind. Okay, let me try another joke.
Okay.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching. Thank you, thank you.
Why didn't the acorn want to go to the opera?
I don't know. Why didn't the acorn want to go to the opera?
What?
It closed down.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good reason then. Not a very good joke, though.
You need to
Okay,
keep
let me try
trying
another
until he
joke.
laughs. Oh my god, I hate it here.
Okay.
Did you hear the local coffee shop has a no oaks policy?
What? In this day and age?
The coffee there is terrible.
How is that relevant?
It's not relevant. Just, you know, humorous.
Is it?
Please end my suffering.
Let me try another joke.
Okay.
Say, do you know old Pete the pine tree?
Piney Pete down the hill? Sure. Good friend of mine.
Well, I hear he got in some really big trouble.
Oh no, what for?
It seems he was being really naughty.
Oh.
I got him. This motherfucker. This is the answer I was gonna pick, but his son was like, no, it's this one. So this is what happens when I trust his son.
We'll go down to the crawdad hole.
Yikes, how's that thing talking? Oh, that's creepy.
Shut up, tree man.
Okay, just stay quiet, you.
Don't be sorry, be careful.
Sugar paw, baby mine.
Shh.
The noises that guy is making, so annoying.
What's that?
You get a lot of fish when you use the right equipment.
You caught that fish? On this beach? What's your secret?
Maybe I'll show you sometime. Let me think about it. Okay, you've worn me down. I've decided to tell you about my fishing secret weapon.
Your what?
This. The hook that I caught that amazing fish with. I call it the Fish Reaper, or Freeper.
You don't say. Hey, do you suppose I could borrow your Freeper for a little while?
Please.
But please promise to leave some fish in the ocean for future generations.
Thanks, kid. Guess I don't need this anymore.
Boy, let's go.
Come to Carol, my beauties.
Sweet. Okay, so I know we need to put the wire in
Looks
here.
like this little guy lost all his low-level wiring. That explains why he's out cold. Okay. That goes there.
Oh.
I'll wire this end here. I'll put some wire here. That's all my wire. I don't know if my wiring helped. That's more like it.
Can we...
And that's all the wire I have.
Can only do 3?
Here goes nothing. That's all Carol gave me. That wasn't right.
Do I have to connect them all? Cause like...
Put this here. That's all my wire.
I mean, she gave us a lot of wire. This doesn't seem right. I'm looking where these things are.
That's more like it. Now those two are connected. And this terminal goes... I think that's the right terminal. Now I'm out of wire.
3 with 3? Wait, what do you mean?
These shouldn't be connected. Other end goes here.
Like that?
And that's all the wire I have. Let me put that somewhere else.
I was looking at these little wires. Because this one looks like it's pointing here.
Connecting to this terminal.
This one's pointing here. And then, I don't know, that one looks like it's pointing there.
Now I'm out of wire. Yep,
But it could also be pointing there.
All my wire. No, not
But
there.
I can only do 3 wires as well, so...
Gary's definitely out of range. This button only works on grabbing Gary. How about this little guy? Would he help? On my ship, they were good at fixing all kinds of things, especially electronics.
Incredible. Much more advanced than the units I'm used to. He's probably exactly
Oh,
what
he
we
probably
need,
wouldn't know how to fix it then.
but it looks like he needs some rewiring. And that tech is way beyond me.
What ideas do you have, Papa T? I'm trying to think if there was anything else. A triangle?
This one looks good.
Like that?
Now I'm out of wire. At least he's got more wires now. Here goes nothing. Here, that's all my wire.
I think it'll... You mean like top to middle?
To this one. And that's all the wire I have.
I feel like it wasn't that one. There must be a diagram somewhere. Yeah.
It looks so familiar.
That's where we are now. It's fine. I'm gonna go have a look. We're gonna go have a walk around. GG's her son.
Alex drew this schematic for a superconductive gyroscopic hypercar. He's not going to be able to help me with that, I'm afraid.
There's diagrams here, but those guys incapacitated currently. I don't think there was any
I want to tell
other...
these people that I've seen their daughter, but I'm not ready to answer all the questions they'll surely have. Hey, can you fix tiny robots?
No, but I could make you a new one if I had the mold. Also, it would be kind of on the statue end of the robot spectrum.
This guy. Let's see. Ain't no thing. Oops.
Cupcakes! Bread frosting cupcakes!
Oh my god, I thought she said bread frosting. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Buy a cake! Stop the mugs!
Been watching too much of that other guy on Instagram, so my brain was instantly like, Pavo frosting with bread.
Want me to get you out?
No, this cage is really for my protection.
I don't want to give him anything that could re-trigger his hoarding problem. I'll let you get back to your conversation.
Okay, cannot speak to them. Are there any benefits of having friends in cookie speedrun? What cookie are you playing?
I don't want to depress them with my dead friend.
But yes, there are benefits. You get gifts daily, and it's like coins or whatever. But currently there's a like Valentine's Day event, so you can get like things that let you open like bonus boxes. So yeah, there's also some events that require that you have friends, like to gift them daily or whatever. Let's not fall through the hole. So if you want to add anyone, I don't know if we have our ID somewhere. This reminds me of that painting with the floppy clock. Is it considered plugging when people ask? When asking if people want to be your cookie friend? Ooh, you want to be my cookie friend? No, it's not pluggies. Bless you, Dan. Dan plugging? The plug police is plugging? Unbelievable. Imagine the sheer audacity of this man to be plugging. You plugging your friendship, truly. Let me just go make a friend on my friends list. I'm gonna go remove Yoda because he doesn't play this game ever. And he hates me, I think. I thought maybe I'd find some answers up here. I ain't find jack shit squad diddlies.
I don't want to cheese off Gus.
Fuck Gus, man.
Someone's written Porter and Packroot on it. My money's on the big guy.
Yoda. Under the bus you go, Yoda. Whoa, why did we get so many materials? What happened? Moonlight Cookie, bless you, girly. Dan, stop half-assing your fucking pluggies. What's your fucking name, bro? How am I supposed to add you, bro? I don't know your name, bro. You'll just leave. You'll leave my friend list? That's fucking rude. That's fucking rude. Mackerel Jam, which I think is Puggy, lost online 82 days ago. Scariest Llama, 80 days. Little Amazon, 65 days. Haruka, 24 days. Moose, 6 days. Yoda, 1 day. Shame on all of y'all. How do you even add friends? Ah, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. Welcome, homies. Hey, 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 chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. Welcome, welcome, homies. How was your stream, Storm? Yoda, you definitely weren't already here. Welcome. Welcome, Raiders. For those of you that are new here, hello. My name is Nat Ortato, variety streamer from South Africa. As you can see, I am playing this game. It's called Broken Age, and it's very strange and interesting. I'm having a wonderful time. I do play a lot of Genshin Impact, though. Wow, Ghosty! Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome to the posse. Yeah, so I play all kinds of things. I do play a lot of Genshin Impact though, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I also cosplay as a real person. On the socials, you can see some of my shit. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. Did you guys enjoy Storm's stream? Did you have any favorite parts? Were there any goofs? Did you have a good stream? Did you make the progresses and stuffs? Your name isn't Naughty Potato? Listen, I'm just asking who the hell was calling me Naughty Potato? Whomst? Whomst? Shady? Yeah, I'm Shady Tato. I'm Sketchy Tato. I'm not Naughty Tato. They're lying. Did you say my name incorrectly? Listen, you didn't say NATO, which is what a lot of people call me. They're like, NATO Potato? You motherfuckers are skipping a whole syllable. You're adding syllables, so it's okay. You're adding. You're not taking away. So I'll let it fly this time. Nautito Potato. You did, but you didn't mean to. It just came out. Oh my god. It's good, it's good. Like I said, I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide this time. Because at least it wasn't NATO. But it's fine, I am the Naughty Potato now. Also, Hassan, I want a clue. I'm tired of this. I want to go to sleep. And I can't go to sleep if I don't sort this shit out. I'm currently doing a puzzle that my small brain can't comprehend.
And that's all the wire I have.
Is Storm having a hard time with names in general today? Were there some other goofs? I need to know. Give the cupcake to the man next to the girl's father. Wait, what? NATO is banned? Yes, you may not use that word here. It's so Ghosty, it's kind of a meme because it happened with such frequency that I was just like, okay, people just starting to troll me with it now, so it got banned. And well, not every, obviously some people still manage to avoid the filter sometimes, but like, oh wait, it was upstairs, right? Yeah, it started as a meme and then it just, yeah. But yes, calling me NATO, it's a bannable offense. You will be forever in the slammer if you call me NATO. Not really, but you know. No, Papa T, why are you playing me like this? Ghosty, no! Okay. Big ass Papa T. Papa T's got issues. He redeemed ASMR for 5 minutes. So enjoy, guys. Bye, Dan. It was nice knowing you. You can't say names today. Is it only today, Storm? Oh, it's because you're ready for bed. Sleepy times.
Anybody want a cupcake?
Oh, thanks, but I can't. Something about eating my
No
baby.
woo-woos, Lily.
Aw, Hoosker. That's the best part. In fact, that's the only part I eat. I'm off gluten, you know.
Cease. This guy. What the fuck? Oh my god. This guy just licked all the frosting off. Disgusting. Speak louder. I can't. I literally am not allowed to. Just tired. That's a very convenient excuse you got there, Storm. That's nasty, I agree.
Maybe I should...
Oh shit. Come here, little mama, let me whisper in your ear.
I got you now! Oh.
Go see an old man about frosting your cupcake. That was the plan, yeah. Give me your frosting, old man. Sound.
What's poppin'? Don't mind me just watching.
Now I don't have any frosting left to make a cupcake for Bella.
You can give her this one.
Oh, hey, good idea. Here, you can take my empty.
Oh, and now I can go find those kids.
Refilled, hey?
Okay.
Ayo. Thank you for the lurkies, JP. Okay. Let's get out of here. You know what to do with the stick, yeah. I'm on the same page. Hear me out. Yeah, I'm listening.
Cupcakes!
I'm listening. Getting frosted by an old man and then fighting with some kids. What a life. Goddamn.
Uh-oh.
Your cake is off limits. That's good to know. I got you whispering. Why are you whispering, man? That's not how this works, Dan.
Every leaf is a miracle!
On guard, Drew.
Okay, Yarn Boy.
Dan is
enough
done.
Is enough.
Dan is over this shit. Oh shit. I suck at this. Wait, how can they fight me if they're blind?
You're lucky she's blind, kid. I didn't miss him because I'm blind, Courtney.
Oh.
I missed him because I can see. I've been pretending to be blind all these years. I never really had the faith like you, Courtney. But I don't have the faith, Dawn. I was pretending too, so I could be like you. What? You're not blind? No. In fact, I've been stealing and selling artifacts from the pyramid to save up money to get out of this town.
Oh my god.
Me too! I would have left long ago, but I didn't want to leave you here. I know how much being a dead-eyed druid meant to you. I haven't wanted to be a druid for years. I want to go to school and study hotel management. I want to study graphic design.
Plot twist.
And start a band. Let's do it. Let's just go. Right now. Right now.
Wait, you little shits.
But what about our quest to find something to believe in? I did. How about you?
Oh my god, that's cute though. Okay. I was about to scream if they took my shit and left. Oh my god, they're naked.
Oh,
there's naked girls somewhere.
Defense with candy canes.
They said they had nothing on under the robes. Speak louder or I drown your fish.
Before those druids get cold and come back.
You can't just threaten to drown someone's fish. Those bitches gay, good for them. Good for them. Where's Tian? Why? Because they were gay? Is he the gay police? Okay, so... Do I go give it to her now for the material? Oh, I was adding Dan on Cookie Run. For fuck's sakes, guys. Imagine. Damn, you loud as fuck. I am. Did you turn your sound down? I'm sorry. What is your name again? Isn't chaotic? Why did you kind of spell? Shit. I think I found you. Fresh out of the oven, Dan. Welcome to the Real Tato stream. Yep. If you don't have a headache by the end of it, you weren't here for long enough. Had me fumbling with my phone to put it softer. I'm sorry. You guys gotta watch the timer. You gotta watch the timer. The timer will tell you what's happening.
Huh. Never seen this kind of material before.
Can you sew it?
Shouldn't be a problem.
That's the spirit.
Papa T, you outies.
Well,
Sweetest
only one thing
dreams.
to do now.
Mama Potato Chip, I will love and leave you. Hope you enjoy your stream. Thank you so much, Ghosty. You have a lovely evening.
Don't worry. I'll be right
Lesbians are free.
Come on, Vera.
Oh, I thought my teenager was dramatic.
Nighty nights, everybody. Ooh.
But what's with all the feathers?
Just because I was working off a pattern doesn't mean I can't inject a little personal style, does it?
I mean...
Dear, you are an incredible talent.
Sweet. Okay, so that's something. That's what the countdown was for? Yes, it was. They were trying to make me stop the ASMR earlier by faking the countdown. They did it a couple times. Okay, but I still haven't figured this one out, Hassan, because this is where I am currently. Am I just not at this point yet? I guess that's one of the things that's difficult. Like, if you just focus on one task, like, it becomes difficult to progress. Because maybe you needed to do a different task. It's the last thing. Yoda, not when we have guests. Oh my goodness. We just had a raid and you sitting here honking your badonk. I can't believe you, Yoda. I'm so sorry, Storm. Yoda's not normally like this. He didn't mind his butt cheeks. Life's a garden, dig it? I don't know if I do, man. The curry effect. Hassan, you can't say that. Oh my god. Unbelievable. No, I lie. Fully believable. Hey man. Here's the suit.
Hey, I got a radiation suit.
Great. Hey, what's up with all the feathers?
Extra protection. Recent tech advancement.
You don't say. Well, I have been asleep for a long time.
Okay. I love that one so much. Okay, so... Joe Dirt. Joe Mama. Yes. Sorry, I was talking to Ray. He like comes in here and he's like, your room's a bit warm. Is your fan on? And I'm like, yes. Only I'm the one benefiting from it though. Obviously.
It's gone. Nothing down there now but sand.
Mods go brrr.
I don't think I want to grind any eggshell onto that. I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose.
Oh boy. Same like my cream. Well, I definitely need to get this thing out of the guy.
So,
hi,
if this is an
Miyuki!
alien planet, why do you talk so funny?
Yeah, you have a thing stuck in your throat.
Must be some sort of performer. A clown, perhaps.
Milky Dukes! I got you something. It's a me. Are you the gift?
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Or clown.
Clown.
Huh. It's on Discord? Discord? Oh! Did you send it to Ray? It's a BB! Do you guys want to see the BB? It sounded like I said booby. You must send it to Ray. Unless you want me to. It's for my boy. So, I never really called him Sky. His name was like 40 other things but his name. You know how it is when you have a doggo. Well, I guess petto in general. You don't call them what their name is. I can show it to Ray Ray. Do I even have Discord open on my PC? I do. Okay, we did. Thank you, Milk. Oh, wait, I was trying to show you guys. I just closed it. Sorry. It's a baby! Thank you, Milky. This is Skyboy. You can also post it if you want on the Discord as well. I mean, I could as well, but you know, if you want to post it, because you did it. There's my boy. And he's a floopa, yeah. I love it. Thank you, Miyuki. This is very sweet. My soft boy. We miss him very much. The house feels very empty without him. Very, very empty. But yeah, I love it. Thank you, Miyuk. I think Ray's not at his PC right now, but I'll let you know if he says anything. Oh yeah, Miyuk also drew that sky emote, the little heart one. That was like one of my first emotes that Miyuki made.
Nah, I don't want to leave that in the blast zone.
Pardon the what? Let's see.
Nah, I don't want to leave that in the blast zone.
Oh, right, because it's gonna get moist.
Nah,
I don't want to leave that in the blast zone. This game reminds me of Little Misfortune. I think it's a similar vibe, Miyuki. I think it's like a point-and-click story / puzzle sheet. That guy sounded
Nothing
like my
there.
dog crying. Yeah, he does, actually.
Nothing else in there.
I don't think there's anything in here. I keep just looking around to see if there is anything. But I'm unsure what to do next. You know what? Let's go back to that guy. Is Satan also involved here? No? Oh, okay. I think he messaged you, Miyuki. He did. Not the nodders, man. Not the nodders. Okay. It's not as dark as Little Misfortune. Yeah, I've seen some... Hello, motherfucker! Did you just wake up, Lena? Yeah, it's not as dark, definitely. It's relatively light-hearted. Okay.
Have you noticed that your ship's sort of shaking now?
That's the heavy-duty anti-gravity thruster you found, warming up. After everything else is ready, that thing's gonna blast us out of here.
No shit.
Oh, man. So, what else does your ship need to fly?
Let me see here. Still need an electronics genius, and, still need your dad to patch the holes in the hull. What else? Haven't found a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam yet. And once we take care of that, we'll be ready to fly.
Okay, see you later.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the electronics guy in our pocket though. We need this thing. Stream's going good though. I'm just a bit stuck with where I am currently. Was gonna go to bed, but I'm so invested in this game. Oh.
Real seagulls.
Not made of yarn. Oh my god.
Nice schematic. This guy really seems to like schematics.
Schematics?
Hey, do you think you could help me make a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam? That looks like a... Yes. Yes, if I weren't choking. Okay.
Do you want a peach?
How about a little fruit to wash it down? Hey, a simple no thank you will do. He seems a little too distracted right now to enjoy that. He seems a little too distracted right now to enjoy it. He seems a little... This guy really seems to like schematics. This guy really seems to like schematics.
Not helpful, Shay.
How's that hook working out for you, Carol?
Great. Thanks, Shay.
Woo. Sorry, be right back. I got hot chocolate. Where? Where? Here. I'm here. Do I need like a bucket or something?
It's gone. Nothing down there now but sand.
That's too quick?
I don't think I want to grind any eggshell onto that.
What would there be that I would want to grind eggshell on?
Hey, don't touch that. I might need to return this whole setup. I'm still in the experimental phase.
Hey, can you fix Tiny Robot?
I already asked him this. This poor man. He likes schematics, he do. Hot chocolate sounds good right now. Get you some hot chocolates, Luna.
This button only works on grabbing Gary. I wonder where he is now. And what he's grabbing.
You want as well? You're gonna have to come get it.
Need any eggshells?
No, thanks. I already have some.
Really? Why?
I put them in my coffee. Makes it less acidic. Why do you have them?
Same reason.
Nothing I can...
Dude, don't burn trash in my house, please.
That's pretty funny. Where could I... You're too lazy? Oh man. Which brand? What's that red one? Is it the Nestle one? There's none in the house and you don't want to ask Ivy. I hope Ivy's sleeping. Nestle!
What can you tell me about these eggshells, Spoon?
Well, I wouldn't recommend eating them, sir. They are comprised primarily of calcium carbonate, which has little or no nutritive value.
Fantastic. What can you tell me about the
What do you think of
peach?
this fruit, Spoon?
Oh, sir, I wouldn't eat it. I mean, how can you trust food that doesn't come from a replicator? Besides, I'm sensing a strong acid content.
Oh?
I don't think mixing them together is the right way to go about things.
You outie Storm! Thank you again so much for the raid. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Sweetest dreams.
That might affect the pH, but until I figure out a way to measure it, I better not experiment. I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose. Think your mixture could use some eggshells?
Well, the calcium carbonate in them could help balance the pH level.
Ivy's watching you like a hawk, fair enough. Also, Yoda, you like the Nestle one? That's really good. Hasana! Banana!
Nothing down there now but sand. Are eggshells superconductive? Anyway, I don't know how to make a hypercam out of them.
How measure? I need a bucket or something. Question mark? They call you Hasana Banana?
Thanks, Shay.
Do you want fruit?
I'm going to save my juice for a higher purpose.
Hasanas in pajamas are coming down the stairs.
Hasanas in pajamas. I almost said in bananas. Hasanas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. I never watched Bananas in Pajamas, so I don't know the song. I just know that part. You love it so much that you hid it from your family, so you don't want them to drink it? Okay. Hasana, the reason why I'm bugging you is because I want to know, how do I do
The
this?
shell was so thick, it never would have busted out without me.
What am I supposed to do next? I feel like I'm missing something. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, no ways.
Sir, I hope you don't intend to
Thank you.
putrid smelling concoction.
Nope.
The cutlery in this game are so sassy.
Just dipping your toes in it.
But sir, oh my.
Oh my.
Not to question the mission, sir, but was there some reason you stuck me into that toxic potion?
How's the pH balance in there?
The mixture has a pH balance of 0. Good thing I'm acid proof.
Okay.
What are those, eggshells?
Shells is shells, right?
Actually, calcium carbonate is the main ingredient in all kinds of shells.
Exactly.
So you were listening to my night lectures on science.
Uh-huh.
Oh my.
Got a pH reading for me?
The mixture has a pH balance of 3. Exactly.
You're doing it, son.
Oh. More egg? Is it 6 now?
Report.
The mixture has a pH balance of 6. Exactly.
Ah.
We need to get it to 7. Exactly.
And what do the peach
Hang
do?
on there, son. Do you know how acidic that fruit is?
No, but my spoon will tell me.
Uh-huh.
I will. With pleasure, sir.
Worth a shot.
pH?
The mixture has a pH balance of 4. Exactly.
If
Ah.
I put the final ingredient in now, the whole batch...
Shut up, Dad. I'm doing math and science.
Any luck?
I'm detecting a pH level of 7.
Wow.
It's perfectly
I did
balanced,
it.
sir.
Nice work, son. Now for the final
What is
ingredient.
7?
Just a small bonding and
Damn.
reduction agent.
Whoa.
It's
Perfection.
so small.
A little goes a long way. Come on, let's go fix that shit.
I love science.
Amazing. Just like my dad used to make.
Let me at that hull and I'll start patching her up.
Sure, go ahead.
There was a door.
Hey, can I go down there?
Aren't you busy helping me find stuff for my ship?
Science doesn't matter.
What's left?
Still
A
need
little goes a long
electronics
way.
genius, and haven't found a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam yet. And once we take care of that, we'll be ready to fly.
Oh
Can I go through this door my dad used?
Oh, you don't want to go down there yet. Very unsafe. Many sublevels are structurally unsound. Who knows if the air is breathable? Plus, there's some.
But you let my dad go down?
Yet to get under control.
The fuck?
Why didn't you warn my dad about that stuff?
Didn't you see the look in his eyes? I knew there was no stopping him.
Alrighty then. No one gives a heck and care about your dad. Same. This is not anything now.
I already read it, and it makes no sense to me. Just a very detailed diagram of... This button only works on Grab and Gary. I should really use this on food. Not myself.
As you command, sir. But I'm up for anything.
Whoa! What?
I guess I could wear it like a sandwich board. But I think that would be a little much. I don't think that would help this little guy.
He just wants to spoon. How do I bring the snake to this guy? Because if we had the snake, we could put it on him.
Greetings, Your Excellency.
Or clown. Hmm.
How's that hook working out for you, Carol?
Great. Thanks, Shay.
Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew.
I don't have the stick anymore. I lost it when I was fighting those kids. Also brink it on the stick.
I don't want to mess up this horn. It's a serious safety device.
I want to know what the sign says.
Hello again, old friend. That must have been danger. I can't use my hands. Feel like letting go of me, Mr. Huggy? I can't use my hands. Wow. Oh, you really aren't kidding around, are you?
There has to be some
You're
way
actually trying
to
to squeeze the life out of me.
grab the boy.
I love it. So, is your plan to kill me, then eat me? Amazing. I hate to do this to you, big guy, but...
Why does he look... At some point the snake looks high as fuck.
I've got stuff to do. No time for play right now.
Hassan, no laughing! It's fine, let's try again.
Hello again, old friend. That must have been danger. I was
Kill it!
letting go
How?
of me, Mr. Huggy? Wow. Oh, you really aren't kidding around, are you? You're actually trying to squeeze the life out of me, aren't you? In case of snake blow horn. You're welcome.
Oh, that's what the sign says.
Sounds like someone's really afraid of hugs. So, is your plan to kill me, then eat me? Amazing. Oh, that was a good one. Well, this has been fun, but I had better be going soon. Okay, fun time's over, my scaly friend. I hope you're not bending my friend's spoon. I remember reading on the ship's Cosmomnopedia.
Hey!
Snakes hate loud noises. I don't want to have to resort to sonic violence, Mr. Huggy, but it's time to let go now.
Go into my pockets, please.
Seriously, you better let go. Not kidding around. Mr. Huggy, I think it won't be much longer now.
Do I?
Guess that poor snake didn't realize
Mr.
how
Huggy Wuggy, Snakey Wakey. No, Snakey Sleepy.
Mr. Huggy's all tuckered out. Don't want to leave him here where someone might step on him.
Let's go, Mr. Huggies. Oh, new area. Warning snake, don't I fucking know it, mate? What a useless sign. And this?
Oh, great sign placement, guys. Where's the warning about the cliff? At the bottom?
Prime Minister, you can't just randomly be bonking people. But also hello. Whoa!
Oh, hey, you had something caught in your throat. Hey, knock that off, Mr. Huggy. Back to your tree.
Mog Chatra, struck down by the dead eye god, only to rise again. This maiden's feast was a disaster. I'm never gonna be mayor now.
Looked like the man spit out a soccer ball. Oh, it was a little...
Looks like a pitch pipe.
that thing.
Do you know how to build a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam?
I can build anything, as long as it's made out of sand.
Oh, the throw happened. Oh, I didn't see it because I was talking to Ray.
Oh, do you mean sand? Synthetic autonomous nanodrones? Because that would be great if you had some of those.
This guy looks so
I mean
disinterested.
sand, as in the chief export of this fine community.
Oh. I don't think sand is superconductive.
If it can't be made with sand, it's not worth making at all.
Got it! Hey! Oh my god, the stream broken. Thank you, Dino. Thank you for the 20 gifted subbies, Jargon. Stream is still broken, but it's okay. Oh my god. Okay, we're back. Sheet Beach! Thank you, thank you! That went to Omega Scales, Alpha Gulf, Aruna, Heartening, Jahi Dog, Two Cavalier, Namani, doesn't matter either, P Ghost, Candy Rocket, Torrent Shade, Galaxy Wolf. There's a Korean name in there that I cannot read. It's also not showing me the person's name. Daniel, Psycho, Epsilon, Laxi, Just Call Me Ash, Metal Injection, Jersey, and Yeet Master. Thank you so much for the gift subbies. If anybody in chat just got one, please be sure to thank Jargon. Much appreciated. Okay, what was this guy saying?
Excuse me?
Huh?
Feeling better?
A little, but I won't know for sure until the polls come in tomorrow.
Where did Mog Chothra go?
I assume back home.
You have the munchies tonight? Ray is busy making me peanut butter toast, so I think he's got the munchies also.
Can you tell me where we are?
Why, the village of Shellmound.
You always do.
The
What are you gonna have, Jargon? Have you eaten
territory on the whole East Coast.
lunch? Question mark?
Do you know anything about electronics?
What's electronics? Some new data analysis service for elections?
Ooh, I got toast. Do you guys want to hear the crunch? I don't know how crunchy it'll be. I do so soft crunch. Mmm. Dinner after Jenny gets home. Ooh. What are you guys having for dinner? Are you having corn?
Do you know how to build a superconductive gyroscopic hypercam?
I can build anything, as long as it's made out of sand.
Wait, did we make this thing out of sand and then blast it with the laser?
I don't think sand is going to stick together enough.
Once upon a time, I would agree with you. But I recently met a mysterious young woman who gave me a secret ingredient.
I think sand is the perfect material for making spaceship parts. But can you make something this complicated?
Please, do you realize to whom you are speaking? And that's why they call me Marshal Duke.
Thanks.
No, thank you, son, for reminding me why
I ate a pack of knickknacks, drank 2 liters, damn, 2 liters of Coke, and a Smarty Stab, and you want more? Maybe it's time to go to sleep, Brimister.
Ooh, that's good. I'm going to pass that along to my speech.
Because sometimes the best thing to eat is sleep. Either you're not lazy and you make chicken, or you are lazy and you order something. Chicken good though. Chicken's easy to cook. Imagine making food.
It's a gyroscopic hypercam. If only it weren't made out of sand.
Okay.
Looks like a pitch pipe.
What is this for?
I don't know how to tune that.
Oh.
Here it is, your superconductive gyroscopic hypercam.
Is that made of sand?
Yeah, to take advantage of the superconductivity of sand.
But sand isn't conductive. at all.
Oh, it's just so easy to tear down the creative works of others, isn't it?
Well, I just...
Well, it's a prototype, okay? I'll bring the real one later.
I need to go to bed before I start going into my stash of extra sodas. Definitely, Prime Minister. Prep and clean up. I guess. But Ray and I will kind of take turns. So if I cook, then he does the dishes. And if he cooks, he also does the dishes.
Hey, Curtis, do you think you could make a metal version of this?
Huh. Well, that's a cool looking... But it's not a mold. I only work from molds, sorry.
Need anything tuned?
No, thanks. The metal I'm using has already been chemically tuned and purified. Trying to produce an artisanal product here, you know?
Home metallurgy kit. Make money without leaving your home.
That's the new plan, man. I'm cashing in, selling out. Just until I get some money saved, of course. You know, then I'm gonna go right back to doing that whole integrity thing.
Home metallurgy kit. Is this boarded up for fire safety or something?
Yeah, safety. Never know when an inspector's gonna show up.
Curtis is so useless, he is a bit.
Dude, don't burn trash in my house, please.
I've almost done everything. Fuck. Integrity Farms? The what now? Oh, South Park.
Looks like Mr. Huggy is taking a well-deserved break. In case of snake, blow horn. You're welcome.
To be fair, Curtis is
Sounds
pretty
like
useless.
someone's really afraid of hugs.
99 Prime Minister!
No, I don't want to touch it now. Mr. Huggy deserves a break.
Take care of yourself.
All, he saved a life today. This button only works on grabbing Gary. I wonder where he is now. And what he's grabbing.
Hi, Ace. Hello, hello. Ace. Yoda, that was really well done. That went over my head. Okay, so the fucking seagull screaming on the side of the screen there. I just want to go check something on the ship. This piece of ship.
Hey, is that Prima Doom? I mean, Shellmount?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Looks like a pitch pipe. I don't know how to tune that.
But he would. You know how
Hey,
to...
that song that makes your space conductor return to his last port? Could you play it for me on this?
Well, I can try.
Oh, that's catchy.
I think if you're a navigation computer, that's actually a pretty hot melody.
Hey, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with his homies. Welcome, Crim. Hey, chicken and macaroni, chilling with the homies. Welcome, homies. Thank you for the raid, Crim. Oh, you're playing Escape from Tarkov? How did it go? Did you pew all the bitches? I forget what you do in that game, but I'm pretty sure you shoot people and steal their shit. And something. Did you have a good time? You're always playing it? Shit. Does that mean like you're the best at that game? But just welcome readers, for those of you who are new here. My name is Nat Tato, variety streamer from South Africa. I do play a lot of Genshin Impact, but currently I'm playing Broken Age, which is a weird and fun game. 4K hours? Damn! And still bad? Oh my god. What's one thing you've learned after 4K hours that you wish you knew at the beginning? In the beginning! What is something you wish you knew in the beginning? But yes, I like to play a lot of Genshin Impact. I'm playing this game now because I love this kind of shit. But also, there's my socials if you want to check out, because I also do cosplay stuff. But yeah. You have 14K hours in Dota? Goddamn. Goddamn. My boyfriend's been playing a lot of Dota lately and hating his life choices for playing Dota. Loot and scoot and quickly. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think I could handle the pressure of a game like that, because I think there's a similar game, but it's like about zombies. Similar-ish. And like, nay bro, I could never. It's too scary. People come pa you in the back of their head out of nowhere. I'm good. I choose games like this. You have enough salt in you from Dota, that is fair. You haven't touched it in 4 years? Man, Dota 2 changed so much. I used to play Dota, like Dota, when I was very young. I don't remember fuck all about it, except that I played Nevermore. That was my favorite character.
I don't know how to tune that.
God damn it.
I don't know how to tune that.
What do you mean tune it, boy?
Looks like a pitch pipe. I don't know how to tune that.
What?
I think Alex would kill me if I messed with this stuff. Hey, you got this old-timey laser coil and amplifying quartz.
Don't you have shit music? That's rude.
No, don't touch them.
I have great music.
Several times and they're extremely unstable.
You have shit music, Dragon.
I'll get around to fixing that soon. Just leave it to me.
All right.
He mad. Yeah, there's shit music over here. Oh wait, did it glow? Did it glow? I can't see because the thing's covering it.
Tune that.
I don't know how to tune that. Don't gaslight me, go boss. I don't know how to tune that. I don't know, can you see my inventory?
I don't know how to tune that. Nah, I think this pitch pipe would only wake up a living thing.
A living thing. Do we have to go wake someone up with it? Is someone sleepy? Can I see your inventory? No worries, Grim. Thank you again for the raid, by the way. I really appreciate it. And if you need to head out, don't worry. I know it's late. Definitely sleepy times. What did I say that's English teacher? I'm saying you can't see it because of the flippin' things, man.
It's definitely out of range now.
we have the grab and Gary thing. We have the spoon.
Now. Stay on alert. I think there might be food around.
Always, sir.
Oh, did I say that? Oh shit. Oh, sorry. Habit. I have the missing poster.
Hey,
I have the little man's.
Have you seen this girl?
Whoa. I have obviously this, and then
Looks like a
I
pitch pipe.
have this guy.
It's a gyroscopic hypercam.
Anyway.
If only it weren't made out of sand.
Is there someone sleepy? Do you want it back?
Want your pitch pipe back?
Definitely not. The world can keep itself in tune from now
Oh,
on.
well, jeez. Maybe the seagull. Look at him, he's fucking yelling again. This bitch.
Something tells me I shouldn't mess with these guys.
I mean, I wanna. Can I tune a tree?
Need anything tuned?
I am in tune with nature. That is all the tuning I need.
This guy. How about you... No, it's fine, I won't say it. Can I tune the horn, the bonk? This big old boy?
I think it's already finely tuned to the key of annoy snakes.
How about you try to tune a fish? You know what? I wanted to make that joke, but I couldn't figure out how to tie it in with fish.
Hey, don't touch that. I might need to return this whole setup. I'm still in the experimental phase.
Fuck, this guy is useless.
Need anything tuned?
No, thanks.
Oh,
The metal I'm using is...
shut the front door, mate. This guy's so annoying. Ah. Yoink. Uh-oh.
Gyro stabilizers offline.
That's not what I wanted to click on.
Anti-gravity field unavailable during hull break.
Shut up. I done goofed, man. I was trying to click on the corner there. And then the menu popped up like, hi, bitch. You tune the bird?
I don't know how to tune that.
Same, dude.
I'm not going near that baby bird. Might be a mama bird around.
Yeah. Let's see if these guys are interested. Hey.
Anything out of tune around here?
Yo, mama.
My entire life.
So dramatic.
Anything out of tune around here?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Why he say uh-oh? What's cracking, girlies?
Red frosting cupcake.
I don't know how to tune that.
You don't know how to tune a kid? I do.
Help find Velatardine.
Just shout skill issue at them. Ha! Tuned.
I don't know how to tune that.
Wow.
I don't know how to tune that.
Is there anybody sleepy? Tune the spoons. Yo, master.
I can tune a spoon.
I'm always ready to play in the key of E, A, and T.
Red frosting cupcakes.
There's your answer, Dan. Well.
I don't want to give him anything that could re-trigger his
Same.
sporting problem.
Ah! Skill issue.
I don't know how to tune that. I don't know how to tune that.
You made some tea? I'm so glad for you. So happy for you. Oh!
I don't know how to tune.
Some tears? Why are you crying, man? Am I doing that badly that you want to cry? That was so mean girls of you? Wait, what? Because I said I was happy for him. Should I not be? And this kid's slurping on peaches again.
Need a pitch pipe?
All I need is this fruit, man.
Man.
I've had all the juice I want today.
Whatever.
Whatever yourself, man. What needs the music? Cause I tried to use it on the door and the door said no. But the guy did, what did he do? He did medium, medium, high, low, medium.
I don't know how to tune that.
I don't know how to tune that. What happens if I fall through here? Whoa! I'm so happy for you. How great for you.
This place is no more dangerous than one of my fake missions.
Hassan's just sitting here giggling, laughing at my pain.
Not good. I don't know how to tune that.
What do you know how to tune?
There's a piece missing from this window.
Oh, yeah. I lost the sun somehow.
The spoon, you can't tune the spoon.
Yeah, me too.
You're a spoon. Look.
I don't think I can tune a spoon.
I'm always ready to play. In the
Shut up.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine. You just can't get into it because they would never understand.
They don't understand. Bless this mess. It's me. I'm the mess. Bless me. Also, hydrate. Wait a second.
Looks like your axe is missing.
I don't use axes anymore. Now I make the axes. Well, I mean I will, once I get the mold.
Okay.
Looks like your axe is missing.
Okay, we did that dialogue. I wasn't sure if there was anything else. This motherfucker. Do I need to go find a fish that I can tune? Ah!
Nah, I don't want to leave that in the blast zone. I'm just gonna put this
Oh.
here. Okay?
Hey, the forest isn't your dumping ground, human.
How you doing, Dread?
Tree.
Human?
So there really is an old Pete the Pine Tree?
Nah, I was just being a good sport. Truth be told, I needed a laugh.
Later, Tree.
Oh, no more jokes?
So just the side of this girl's face.
Schoolgirl?
Fascinating.
Hee.
Just leave me be.
I'm doing okay. Okay, that's the next part done. It's a thing covered in tree vomits, question mark.
Nah, I think this pitch pipe would only wake up a living thing.
Wake up a living thing, what's sleeping though? Tune the tree. What would be considered a tune for a tree though?
Yada 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 cam?
Well, it might work as a box to hold one in. Or
as a mold! We got our lovely 2 hours now. Wait, do we have load shedding now? Shit. I need to run. Because my PC has a tendency to abort mission when load shedding hits. So I need to make like eggs and scramble. Let me just look for someone to raid. Quick, 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 before the thing explodes. It's not actually gonna explode, but you know what I mean. Hopefully